man, like I said, the bigger we get, we got more people coming at us. People are going to try to do bad things to us no matter what because they don't want us to succeed.
Is we grew up so fast that we got so much attention, and you're not allowed to, in the corrupted markets, you're not allowed to go in traps. You're not allowed to pop out of nowhere and help people change their life. You're not allowed to do that.
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
Happy New Year, everybody! Let's go!
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way. I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly.
Karma's a bitch.
Queen of Karma.
Hello, everyone, and how are you all doing today? Happy New Year to all of you. It should be January 1st for most of us by now. I think we're all on January 1st now, no matter what time zone or whatever you're in. So today I want to watch the Heroes webinar. They did a Heroes webinar. Please let me know if my sound is good or not. I do need to know. But they did do a Heroes webinar on New Year's Eve. Heroes, Happy New Year. Stay positive. The power of faith in tough times. Right? So it's New Year's. You would think that it's a happy occasion and that everyone is happy. So I was like, oh yeah, let's celebrate the New Year's by going through this. We'll see what we can get through. Marty getting paid $8,000 a month by Ash's peanuts. Queen pays us mods twice that amount plus dental. I do? News to me. I'm going to have to ask my husband who manages my channel about that. Excuse me, sir. But yeah, I want to go through this. I think it's very important. Rogues Gallery, right? I think it's very important to watch these ones, and we try to watch the ones that are of utmost importance because it gives us an insight into the blind faith and the blind loyalty that the people in this thing have for Onpassive, for Ash Mufareh, and for each other. And I think in understanding that this is a cult, it's important to watch these long webinars that they all do together, especially, like I said, when it's a special occasion or when they're doing like a corporate webinar or Ash is going to show up on their webinar and etc. Gives us a little insight into all of their minds and kind of how they all converse with each other and how the whole thing works. Now, today, Marty and Chris went live, and I was waiting to see if they would. Has the 8K a month been confirmed? Yes. Yes, it has been. As the recovering Hunbot stated in her notice on her website, that she has more than enough proof. So if Marty and Chris do say that that is not true, she will be willing to go through it all again. So... But they didn't even mention it. There was no mention of it. There was no mention of On Fusion at all, which was interesting. So they have not announced this yet. And at this point of their webinar, their New Year's Eve webinar, we had already broken the news to the public. But I don't know. Do they mention it in this one? I'm wondering. I think we should all find out. Hello, Mr. Level. Good to see you. And Sam, it's good to see you. I kind of just answered your question. Same with Devils. Happy New Year, Sherry, who's driving right now. Please drive safe. And Happy New Year to Violet, who came in and said that she hopes that we're all having a lovely first day of 2025. It might be really late for Violet, though. I noticed how Marty in his webinar today glossed over the fact that he has been getting paid by Ash. Exactly, Takara. And Happy New Year to everybody. I hope everyone's having a great start to the year. Mine's going all right. Now, let's see how this goes. How was Onpassive O-Founders New Year Eve? Was it fun?
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this final episode of the Heroes webinar. This is our last webinar before the end of this year. So the next time you will see all of us here on this panel or on this screen, it will be in 2025. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for listening to us. Thank you for having been joining us throughout the entire year for the past maybe 4 years. Thank you. As we go into the most exciting year of our journey in Onpassive. Today, our topic is to stay positive in the power of faith and the power of faith in tough times. Stay positive and then have the power of faith in tough times. We all know the power of positive thinking. We've talked about the power of positive thinking, the power of the mindset and everything. It's good for us actually to have a positive mindset or to have positive thinking. You know, your life is actually a physical representation of your thoughts. The way you think is the way it shows outside. So as we go into this 2025, we are hoping that we carry on a positive attitude, a positive mindset, not only towards the people that you meet, but towards each and every one of us, towards our business, towards our founder, towards each and every one of us. You know, having this kind of mindset is actually transformative. It helps you. It's healthy. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to have that attitude. It helps you build that resilience that we all need at this time, facing the circumstances that we face. So it's a good thing. It helps you save more energy, energetic when you have a positive mindset. But faith is the key here. Having faith is the key. Faith can be a tremendous source of strength during challenging times. When you have faith, we've talked about faith a lot here. We've talked about hope. When you have faith, you have hope. You believe in the things that you believe in.
You do talk a lot about faith. And in most of our opinion, if you are using people's faith to get them to sign up for your community or your business opportunity, that is actually called faith manipulation. You're not using people's faith in a good way. You're doing harm with it. And that's not something to be proud of.
It's that hope of something better is coming. It's the faith that you have. And that is what we all have as we look forward to a very, very exciting and productive 2025. That hope is derived from that faith that we all carry. When you have faith, you have a sense of purpose. Believe in something that is greater than yourself. We are all here because we believe that something better awaits us, something that is greater than ourselves. We've all taken ourselves out of this equation because we know that whatever is coming is greater and bigger than each and every one of us. And of course, we also have peace of mind. When you have faith, you believe in something, your whole entire mindset is set for that thing, that positive mindset. You have inner peace.
Here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with having faith, right? There's nothing wrong with having faith, but there is something wrong with having blind faith. So in this situation, you want people to have faith in a man that has not been able to accomplish one thing in 6 years that he has promised people. And so you're asking me to ignore the fact that he can't ever actually execute any of his plans, that he never meets deadlines, that he knows nothing of running a business and has really, really fucked it up several times. You're asking me to ignore all of that reality and then just have faith that eventually this is going to work itself out? Like some greater power is going to make Onpassive happen, even though Ash is fucking it up every step of the way? Because I would hope that if there is a greater power, which I personally don't believe in, but if you do, I would suspect that they're doing something better with their time. I would hope that they would help somebody that actually needs it, not just give a bunch of people the business being run by a man that has no clue how to run a business and that's scamming everyone. I would hope that that is not what any god would do. So that's where the problem lies, right? And you should have faith in yourself, but then someone like Ash Mufareh has too much faith and confidence in himself. Like he's like, even if I do everything wrong and I never do any work, this is somehow going to become a $1 billion company. And it's like, okay, but no, you have to actually do stuff for that, to actually run a business then and have products and sell things. You can't just sit around and talk about it and then it just manifests. And it's almost like you all seem to think it's just going to manifest if you pray enough or have enough faith or put all your loyalty in Ash. That's very unrealistic. So if you continue down that belief system, again, you're harming yourselves. You're not using faith for good. Why don't you use that faith and go actually try to do something that will actually work out? That won't be a constant failure because the man running it just wants to lead you on and take all your money for as long as he can. He's getting ready to rebrand this to On Fusion so that he doesn't have to pay you any of your commissions at all. Okay? And so that he thinks he's going to get out of owing you all the $108 million. Thank you, Violet. And if you need more information about that, Violet has left the link in the chat. Okay? So he's about to ask you for more money to do this startup now. this is when it's like, okay, enough with the blind faith. Wake up. Wake up. Otherwise, you're just going to be bled dry in this thing. And I don't just mean by money. I mean your energy. I do live streams for several hours. It's exhausting. I'm old. You guys are older than me. This is hard work for you guys, doing these webinars several hours a day, all day long. You're not getting paid $8,000 a month to be Ash's mouthpiece like Marty DeGarmo and Chris Johnson are, right? So you're just pouring all of your energy, all of your time, and everything into this. And this man's just going to keep on asking you for money. I mean, after this thing doesn't work out, he'll just rebrand it again. And then do it all over again. He's already done it 3 times with Onpassive. This will be like the 4th rebranding. Like, so this is when it's like, okay, should I continue to have faith in this? Or should I actually be realistic and start putting my time and energy on something that's actually going to pay off for me? That's actually going to make me successful. And if you're in this for the money, that will actually make you money. Why don't you spend your energy actually going and volunteering? You want to save humanity? Social services is down right now, especially in the USA. They need volunteers. They're looking. So instead of sitting on webinars and just talking about how you hope to help people one day if this business takes off, why don't you actually go and use some of your energy and your time and volunteer at places? Like, and then you're actually helping humanity and using your energy for good. And maybe then you could use your faith to think, maybe God is going to help me help these people more. And I was put on this earth to do this volunteering. And that will give you a lot more purpose than doing webinars every day. Because there's no point to your webinars. Even when I do my live streams, the point of my live streams is to show people how these MLMs are actually cults disguised as businesses to bleed people of everything that they've ever had. There's a purpose to what I'm doing. And when I do these webinars, people that watched it see it. They learn things about cult manipulation, herd mentality, indoctrination, brainwashing, the psychology behind all of it, etc. So if I wanted to find purpose in this, and this was allegedly the only thing I could find purpose in, because I was like an Onpassive founder, and apparently nothing in my real life gives me purpose, so I need something online too. I have more purpose in what I do than you do in what you do every day. Because so far, the only thing that you guys have claimed you've been able to teach people is how to get along with people in other countries and how to do public speaking, which are things most of us learned how to do way before we were in our adult life. You know? Just something to think about in the new year. Do you really want to spend another whole year doing nothing but talking and getting nothing for it? Other than like a pat on the back every once in a while? I mean, why can't you be friends with these people even if you leave Onpassive? They're your family, right? Should have no fear in losing this community. They would shun you and turn their back on you if you told them that you could no longer be in this, right, Bob? You could tell them that you want to go move on with your life, and they would all still be your family and be your besties, right? Because this isn't a cult, as you all keep saying, right? So there'd be no shunning. There'd be no attacking. there'd be no us versus them mentality, and everyone should embrace you wanting to leave and be very happy for whatever future endeavors you have. Right, Bob?
You know, faith offers you that inner peace that we all need. It gives you that comfort that we need. You know, it avoids you avoid stress and anxiety when we have faith, when we believe. For me, my whole attitude is to focus on our founder, Mr. Ash. I look at him, I look at his direction. I listen to what he says. I believe what he says. That is how I look at it. So as we move on to this 2025, let us focus on our founder. Let us look at the attitude that he brings, the faith that he has. It is his faith that is carrying him forward and all of us, and his positive mindset. I believe that if we all derive this kind of attitude as we move into 2025, and I know that there are better days ahead. There are better days ahead because our founder, Mr. Ash, has spent the last few years and especially the last few months putting the teams, crossing the T's, dotting the I's to make sure when we open the door, we are gone for good, guys. So let us have faith. Let us stay positive, have a positive mindset. So we're going to open up this conversation with the one and only our brother Mike Ellis, who is going to take it from here and then weave it all in the
So Chris says, I wonder about Marty receiving $8,000 per month. His fridge went out and he sounded like the other poor founders begging for money and only receiving prayers. Also remember, though, that Marty is raising 4 of his grandchildren. Right? So he has 4 children in the home, all quite young. And I don't know what his pension is or his disability or whatever he gets, right? So he has them, he has a wife, and he's always been a grifter. So somebody who has the mindset of a grifter, it almost doesn't matter how much money they have. I mean, there's tons of people. I mean, look at Nick Fuentes. You could be rolling in some dough because you have some kind of success, and have all this money, but then for whatever reason, you'll still e-bag on the internet. It happens. Look at Keemstar. That guy's a millionaire. And now he makes everybody pay for content, which is supposed to be going against terms of service on here. But like, what do I know, you know? So you can have tons of money and then still e-bag, still grift. Because the mindset is, oh, I need something. Instead of buying it myself, I'm going to go get other people to buy it for me. Right? So I don't know if you can really go by that because of who Marty is as a person and the kind of mindset of a grifter that he has. Even if he was making fucking $1 million a month, this man might still beg people for money on the fucking internet. Like, I don't know if that matters, you know? Let us focus on our founder. Why? I don't because he graced us with his presence on Christmas. So now we got to dedicate our time to him. On Fusion is massive. It just doesn't go as well, does it? As Onpassive is massive. Like, it just doesn't rhyme. I'm kind of sad. The only thing I'm excited about is the fact that it's confusion. Fusion. And we can have some fun with that, but I'm kind of like, oh man, you know, they need to call themselves On Founders. Oh, that doesn't sound very good when you say that out loud, eh? On Founders. I'm an on found. Yeah, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, I wonder if it will be Go Founders again. Because remember, they still have their Go Founders going. So maybe they'll change it. I love OF. Wait, yeah. We can have some fun with this name. When Marty starts calling himself Marty OF. God, that would be an OF page that would make you want to claw your fucking eyes out.
The way that he's the only one who knows
before
Absolutely. So,
seeing
Brother Mike
Shandy.
Ellis, please, over
Jeez.
to you. And then we'll go to
No,
Brother Chris
thank,
Johnson. Sister Robin, sorry. Yep.
okay. Yeah, thanks, Bob. You're absolutely on fire. I agree with everything you said. Yeah, I want to start by wishing everybody a happy New Year's. We're just about there, a couple more days, and we're into 2025. I think it's going to be a really, really great year for everybody. I initially was going to talk about the timing that's involved in 2025, but I thought to myself, no, I really don't need to do that. Mr. Mufareh has taken care of that.
I had to speed it up.
I'm confident that he knows exactly what he's doing, and when the timing's right, he's going to come out with phase 2, and it's going to be perfect, as Bob said. It's just absolutely going to be perfect. So I'm not going to go there today. Mr. Mufareh has that well in hand, and I trust him implicitly. When we start to think about what the topic is today, and I'm going to try and stay on that topic, which is faith in hard times. It's a really, really good topic. When I saw it, I went, of course, faith, hard times, they kind of go together.
I find it a very depressing topic for New Year's Eve. Personally, I was kind of like, why? But like, I get that they're trying to put the emphasis on the stay positive part, but knowing how these webinars often end up turning into people just like sharing their tough time stories and asking for prayers. If I were them, I would have been a little worried and not wanted the night to kind of end up that way because it's depressing. Like, even they must find that depressing somewhat, don't they? Or are they like so brainwashed that that's not even depressing to them anymore? I don't know. I guess those are the questions we must ask ourselves here. But I was like, the power of faith in tough times. Bizarre topic for New Year. Like, why wouldn't you just make it Happy New Year? Can't wait for 2025. And then like focus on your hopes for 2025 with the company. At least then it could stay positive. I just feel like no matter what you do, putting tough times in the title and making that the part of the theme, we're just going to end up depressed now. Confusion will be massive, but we will have to show in order to grow. Get your tiny dinger condoms today. Those eyes are really darting around. He can't even look a camera in the eye. Yeah, Mike comes off as one of the like less honest people on here, and I feel like he's also more aware. He knows what this is. He knows what's going on. So it makes sense that he darts his eyes all around. They are postponing the bowl game in New Orleans until tomorrow. Uh-oh. Well, that's going to cause some issues, isn't it? Red Redfern admitted last week that 2024 was the year that never happened. An understatement. I mean, they're not wrong. Not wrong. 2024 was the year that the website went down. It's like, it's kind of the year where problems arose. So, yeah, I can't be in on Fusion. I'm a grower and not sure. Is Red getting a salary? I guess not. Ash could only afford 2 bozos. I do know that Red was getting like a dono here and there, but I don't think to the extent that the other ones are. Did Mike receive money from Ash? Surely as part of Marty, Dan, and I, he would want some of that sweet money. Well, I don't know if Dan got any money, Dan Street either. Right? Marty's positioned himself at the top of that pyramid team. But I do know that they did get some donos. The recovering Hunbot did actually calculate like how many donos all of them were getting when they were all streaming. So yeah, Marty, Dan, and I.
Together. And when I think about that, I think about faith and gratitude, not grace, gratitude. There's a difference there, guys. And when I think about faith, my faith is always with God, period. That's just the way it is. It's the way it'll always be. My God is sovereign. He pretty much knows everything that's going to be happening. That's where my faith is. But I'll always have a gratitude for Mr. Mufareh and what he's done, what his vision is, how he's structuring everything that will benefit each and every one of us. So when I start to think about faith, I start to think about hard times.
I will say, I do appreciate Mike Ellis separating his faith and his, because to him, that's probably more of a religious thing, and Ash. If you just heard him, he said, you know, faith and grace and gratitude, or faith and gratitude, different things. I have faith in, you know, what I have faith in, but then I have gratitude for Ash. So I'm like, okay, good. I hope that he continues to separate and doesn't also fall under the spell of kind of seeing Ash as a god. I hope that means that he hasn't gone down that route yet.
Faith is essential in everything we do. If you don't have that, it's really, really difficult to get through some of the hard times that we go through. And if you don't think there are hard times, all you have to do is look at 2024. Period. If you look at what Mr.
I believe they got paid until June 2023.
Mufareh went through. If you look at what we went through, because we're all anxious to get going, there were some hard times there. But in reality, that is life, isn't it? Life is hard. It's always hard. It's always been hard.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that this thing was supposed to make life better, not more hard.
But because we come together as a family, there's no hardship we can't endure and get to the other side. So as I think about where we are, where we're going, as I think about faith and hard times, we're in a really, really good place. And I really want to speak to, you know, I know everybody here on the panel, you know what's going on, you know what's happening, you know what Mr. Mufareh is doing, but I want to talk to people that maybe they're a little new to this family and they're just listening in. And as I talk about the hardships of life, it's just what it is. Life is hard. And it doesn't matter if you're young or old, doesn't matter if you're 18 or 80, life is difficult. Now, when you're younger, it's difficult, but because you're young, you don't quite understand how hard it's going to get. Maybe that's a blessing for youth, but it does get hard as you get older, as you get more responsibilities, as you have family, as you get older, life gets harder. And obviously, when we start to think about what Mr. Mufareh is doing, when we start to think about financial independence, we're all focused on that financial goal that we all have initially. And whether you're young or old, we all have dreams and aspirations we want to meet. If you're young, you have those dreams. They're very real to you. But as you when you're young and you start to grow older, you start to understand that, yeah, I have these dreams, but I don't have the ability. Yeah, I don't have the skill set to make those dreams come true. And as you get older, you have the skill sets, you have the understanding, but you start to lose the time that it takes to actually build that wealth that you're looking for or accomplish those dreams. So whether you're young or you're old, life can be very, very difficult. And that brings us to Mr. Mufareh and what he's doing. And I've thought a lot about this over the last week or so. It's the end of the year. You think about these things and what Mr. Mufareh is doing. And yeah, we have hard times, but because of what Mr. Mufareh is doing, whether you're old or young, it doesn't matter what skill set you have. It doesn't matter where you come from in the world. Mr. Mufareh.
You're right, Jelly. Breaking news. There's a new pop-up in the OES. It's a boom. Well, now I'm starting to think that Marty's writing these. I'm like, wait a minute. What the hell? It's a boom. January 1st at 1:48 p.m. We wish you a happy new year. From the bottom of my heart to you and your entire family. Well, thankfully, it's not just half of the family. No, that would be bad. I wish you a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2025. Let's make it a grand year, as opposed to the past years you've had. Some tips for the year. All right, guys, you ready? Are you guys ready? We got to write this down. Now I need Sweet here. Write this down. We got tips. I can't. Tips for what? Anyway, tips for the year. Getting life advice now from the Onpassive back office. Wonderful. Do not waste your time. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Do not waste your time with explanations. People only hear what they want to hear. No, see, I only want to hear the truth. That's the problem. I don't want your bullshit. I don't want your lies. I don't want your fluff. All right, I want the truth. When writing the story of your life, don't let anyone else hold the pen. Did you get a fucking edition of chicken soup for the con artist's soul for Christmas? Like, what the fuck was that? How many things you would attempt if you knew you could not fail? Is that a question? How many things you would attempt if you knew you could not fail? How is that a tip? Imagine how many things you could attempt, not would attempt, if you knew. Oh, anyway, we wish you happiness, security. That's okay. Peace and confidence. Wish me security. There can't even do proper security in your OES or on your website. I see. Have you ever noticed how happy people don't tear others down? Secure people celebrate others' success, and they also do not let people fall down the path of having false success. Peaceful people spread calm, not chaos. You know, like starting a business that's a pyramid scheme and trying to bleed people in third and fourth world countries dry while promising them that you'll save them. That is considered chaos. Confident people uplift, not criticize. I don't think being critical has anything to do with your confidence. You can be very, very confident and still be a critical of information, for example. Does that now mean that you're no longer confident? I'm confused. Confusion. When someone tries to dim your light, remember darkness speaks about the critic, not the criticized. Remember, darkness speaks about the critic. Oh, okay. I am fired up to change the world. Are you ready? With my love and respect! Exclamation mark at the end of that. Ash Mufareh. Oh, Lord. At least it wasn't linked to Marty's YouTube channel, right? It's literally just a motivational speech from Ash. I know. What is this? That's okay. Ash does not have the skill set to build O Connect 2. Or even, I guess it'll be on Connect now. Boom! Razzle dazzle, baby. Razzle dazzle. Boom! Boom! It's the last noise that you hear. You know, after Ash punches you in the face and also steals your wallet. I'm just like, thank you for your advice. Be sure to drink your Ovaltine in the Kool-Aid. So there's that. How wonderful of him. Nice of him to pop in and wish us a happy new year. Just so you know, every single company today is sending out a happy new year message to the public and to their employees. So don't be like, oh my God, Ash is such a great CEO because there's a message in the back office from him saying happy new year. Yeah, everyone says happy new year today. All right, so it's not an extra.
Is putting out there something that will benefit each and every one of us in major, major ways. Over the last couple of years, there are things that I want to talk about that I can't yet. And the reason I can't talk about them is because it's just too early. I'm going to say something that very few of you will believe when I say it. And even fewer will understand what I'm going to say. About probably the only one here that will understand is Marty DeGarmo. And that's because I've talked to Marty for the last 12 years. This is what we talk about. There are things
Yeah,
we're going to
fuck
be
you,
able to
Dan
do
Street.
that you haven't even thought of. And I'll give you one. And again, most of the people here aren't going to believe it. And these are the things that we're going to be able to start talking about and actually being able to show people how to do. Today on this webinar, we've got maybe 4,000 people that will see this webinar. It's not a bad audience. It's pretty good. And if you look at the universe that each of us have, if we look at the OTEC pros, 2 years ago, their universe was what? Maybe 12 people? That's about it. They didn't have that many people. But because of what they're doing, their universe has grown. And our universe, whatever position you're in, your universe is going to start to grow because of what Mr. Mufareh has done. And as he comes out and he starts to explain what he's going to be doing and how he's going to be doing it, I can tell you flat out that there are things that Marty and I can talk about today that would take this audience of 2 or 3 or 4,000 people that are watching. And in a very, very short period of time, you would have 200,000 people watching this webinar every time we do it. Now, when I say that, most people go, well, that's nice to say that, but really, how can you really do that? I'll give you an example. About 3 years ago, I think it's been 3 years since Mr. Mufareh did this. I was doing videos, and Mr. Mufareh came out and he said, listen, I'm going to drive some people to your video. And I'm just going to do it. I want to do it. I like your videos. I'm going to drive some people there. And I went, well, that's nice. He's going to drive a couple thousand people. It'll be nice. People there. Maybe we get a little traffic, blah, 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 all that stuff. And the next day he drove 100,000 people through one video. Now today, Marty and I know how to do that. But it's even bigger than that when Mr. Mufareh comes out with what he's going to be sharing with us. And the reason I bring this up is to give people an understanding, 2025, what's going to be coming at us? What are you going to be learning? How are you going to be able to implement that? How are you going to build your business? What's that going to, so I'm still there. Can you guys see me okay?
Yes, but somebody's sharing screen. Can we see that?
Somebody
Okay,
sharing
well,
their screen. We can
I always love to look at Mr. Mufareh. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's fine. But what's coming, and I'll keep this short, Bob. What's coming are all of those questions that I ask. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? How are you going to implement? And then there's going to be more coming. Imagine and this really isn't important once Mr. Mufareh brings out phase 2. What if you had a YouTube channel and on average you had 200,000 views per video? Now, those of you that have a YouTube channel and that have monetized, you understand what I just said. It's a really, really big deal until phase 2 comes out. And then it's piddly. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. The only reason we want to have that type of viewership as we do our webinars and our videos is to get people engaged and to bring them into the family so that they can benefit from what Mr. Mufareh is going to be bringing out. But I guess to end it, what I wanted to say.
We just wanted to build a cult first.
Is there are things that are coming that we can't talk about yet, not because, and I want to make this clear too, Mr. Mufareh hasn't shared any of this with us. Okay, this is just Marty and I and Dan talking over the last 12 years and our experience online and seeing what Mr. Mufareh is doing. We kind of have an understanding of what's going on. And it's not me, it's not Marty, it's not Dan, it's what Mr. Mufareh has put forward. But as we move forward, understand when he comes out and shows us phase 2, you're going to see things and you think you understand what's going on. And you'll understand kind of the minimum, but we're going to come in, we're going to explain what we've been talking about for 12 years. And again, I know there are a few people that haven't.
I wonder now what Marty has told Mike and Dan. Because as we found out over the last 24 hours, Marty is well aware of the rebrand coming up. So now I'm kind of like wondering, has he told Mike and Dan? Does Ash know that he told Mike and Dan? Was he supposed to tell Mike and Dan? Just, so many questions.
An inkling in the back of their mind, well, they're thinking about this or they're thinking about this. And maybe you're right. But if you're right, don't say anything because it's just too early yet. I believe as Mr. Mufareh comes out with phase 2, all of these things are going to be, they're just kind of.
I still think Marty's
They're going to be unrolled by Mr. Mufareh. And then from there, we can come in and we can extrapolate and kind of add to them. But we're in a really, really good place. 2025. Enjoy the new year coming in. Enjoy it and understand that I don't think we have that long to go. Mr. Mufareh's got it under control and it's going to be here sooner than you think. And when it happens, everything starts to change. And hard times, yeah, they'll always be there. We all go through our things. But as Mr. Mufareh unrolls phase 2, it's going to be a fun time, and it's going to lighten up those hard times. It's going to soften them, and life's going to get better for everybody. Bob, I'll turn it back over to you. Hopefully that made sense. Hopefully you could hear me.
Yes, 5 on 5. Thank you so much, Brother Mike. The first things that you uttered were gratitude for Ash. I think we all have to give Mr. Ash, our founder, some gratitude for the grace that he's giving us. Gratitude for Ash. Thank you, Brother Mike. So he's putting everything together, putting things together. It's going to come up very shortly. Very shortly, we believe. As we've always thought, anything can happen at any moment. So let's just stay close. Keep your eye close to the ball. Thank you so much, Brother Mike. I was very pleased to hear our golden voice today. We had a pleasant surprise of having the one and only Sister Robin within our midst. I'm sure she thought, as the year coming to an end and what we all anticipate, she said, what a better time for me to come out and just express my well wishes to all the founders in our community, and also give us her take on what she thinks when we talk about how to stay positive and having faith in these turbulent times, in these difficult times. So it's my pleasure to call on our Sister Robin. Glad to see you. Glad to hear your voice. The microphone is yours, sis.
Thank you. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm just getting a flash that my internet is unstable, so I apologize if I come in and out or if I disappear. I really did want to be here today for 2 reasons. One, because it's the end of the year.
Okay. I'm scared.
The title of today's webinar, The Power of Faith in Tough Times. Well, what a year. And we've all experienced a challenging, difficult, painful, sad, frustrating year in various forms.
I feel like Robin's gone through a lot this year, though.
Whether it's through health, whether it's financial, whether it's loss of family members, friends. It's been a long, long, challenging year. I think it'll go down on the books for that. And yet on the other side of it, it's gone by very, very quickly. 375 days ago, I was first spoken to by a medical professional about cancer. And little did I know and understand the impact that it would have on my life and those around me and those who care about me. And little did I know that that would be the first of 3 such conversations, totally separate, and add a few more conditions and issues on top of that. It's been a tremendously challenging year, health-wise for me, from the perspective that I believed.
Right.
I have always felt that we have the power of being able to heal anything and everything that crosses our path. And it did not happen in the manner that I always thought and believed it could and would happen. Finances are such a huge part of our world, unfortunately. And without finances, one is not able to have the freedom of choice, have the freedom of belief in being able to implement what one truly believes in one's heart and through one's own belief education system of what is possible. And it makes us feel helpless sometimes. It makes us frustrated.
Are you telling about your battle with cancer? Because the one thing that Robin does that really does kind of bother me is Robin acts like she's in the US where she has to pay for the cancer treatments and like it's a financial burden when she's in Canada and every single one of our provinces has tons of programs, especially in place for people in Robin's condition, where they don't have to have a financial burden. She could have even her trips to and from the hospital paid for. And she can choose to take a shuttle service instead of just an Uber or a cab or the bus or whatever. Like the one thing that Canada does decent is trying to help people out if they, for example, get an ailment like cancer and need to go through treatment. They're pretty good about that. And where she lives, there are tons of programs, tons. So I hope that she's not trying to make it sound like she was unable to get like chemo or radiation therapy because of finances. Those things she could get just fine. What Robin wanted to do is Robin wanted to try to use holistic medicine and prayer to cure her cancer. And that is something that, for example, the doctors would tell her, no, you cannot do that. You are going to die. You need to have treatment. And I can't help but during this speech kind of go, is that what she's talking about? Because they did that for you. It's kind of a good thing that you're not a millionaire and could have just stayed in your mansion like they do and then choose to pass away using holistic medicine and prayer. I'm sorry. Like, I gotta be on the side of the doctors. You know, but Robin, I'm glad that you're here for another year, even if your voice makes me horrified.
Frustrated, and it brings up fears of such depth that unless you've actually experienced some of these issues, and we all have at different levels, at different areas, I'm not taking away from anybody, and I'm not special any more than anybody else listening to this, but we all have different ways of dealing and coping with things as they face us and come to us.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank everybody, and I'm not turning this into a Robin webinar, but I'm taking the opportunity because it's the end of the year and I've not been able to come out very often, but I do want to say thank you to all of you around the world for your prayers, your love, your support, your financial assistance last month, and the messages and the unconditional love that you have sent me in supporting me through all of this and allowing me to take the time behind the scenes to grieve, go through my frustrations, accept and acknowledge and work with my fears, and yell and scream at God, at life, at circumstances. And you've all been there constantly just dropping a message when it was the perfect time. You have no idea how important and special those messages were. In addition to all the health issues that went on, I did also take the time to go through my treasure chest of belief, of products, of life, and everything that I've done to this point. Because, you know, we suddenly feel very mortal and very human when you're given certain information, because you really don't know how much time you then have. So this year I also spent putting my affairs in order, literally and figuratively. I got a new passport. I was able to work out some government papers and fill out forms. I was able to bring myself up into the adult world of turning nearly 65 and what that implication means and what that will do for my future through the assistance that I can have and get. I also learned to ask for help. And I think these are the sort of things that we need to be aware of for ourselves, but also to be on the lookout to help other people. There is help out there, but we have to make that first step. We need to either stretch out our hands, or we need to,
Happy New Year.
more importantly, we need to actually ask somebody privately or in a group format. It doesn't matter. We need to prepare ourselves for our futures, whatever age we are at. We don't know what's going to come into the future. And if you're still working, make sure you have enough insurance. If you're still doing things, make sure you put things in place. If you're traveling, get your travel insurance. If you're, banking, make sure your banking affairs are in order. Make sure your accounts with
Jesus Christ. Stay tuned in future for On Fusion Insurance. Ash is probably going to hear this and go, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Are in order. Make sure you've got your passwords, your contact person who you will hand this over to. In the unlikely event that something is to happen and were to happen unexpectedly. This has been a year of learning. This has been a year of putting things in order, if we chose to. I also chose to upgrade my knowledge on health products and in the healthcare system, not only from a medical standpoint, but also from the alternative and complementary sides of things. So that when the platforms that we will be provided through Ash and what he is creating for all of us, I will come out on a soapbox. I will come out as a powder keg with information to be able to help others through what I have learned, but through what I have used, practiced, and has helped me personally. It's not the time to do that yet. The respect is still owed to Ash and to each other of how we met, how we came together, and how we know each other. But we need to also stay in gratitude for everything that Ash is doing, with an understanding through the OTEC pros, through Marty, Mike, and Dan. And
damn it. You know what, Robin? I was about, at the end of your speech, I was going to be like, well, even though Robin freaks everyone out, that was some decent life advice. I mean, I can't say that it's bad advice to tell people to get things like health insurance, life insurance, to ensure that they have all of their IDs up to date and to kind of sit down and take a look at where they are in their life and step into their adult life and embrace it. That's all decent advice. But then, like always, whenever you guys do say something where I'm like, yeah, all right, that's at least some good life advice, then it follows up with on passive shit. Or yeah, because we have to do all that so that we can all be there for Ash Mufareh more or some bullshit. And it's like, oh man, you almost had me on your side. Like, why did it have to lead into on passive stuff? If you had just ended it there, thanked everyone, because again, that's a good thing to do. She should probably thank everyone for giving her the support during her treatment this past year. Again, I'm not going to shit on that. That's a good thing to do. But then it all has to lead into because of on passive, I was able to get your support. And then that's where you lose me, you know? And I'm like, damn it, she was so close. So close to just being a normal person.
Chris, and the information that is given out there, that businesses of this monumental size and value and potential change to the world, the planet, and to humanity does not happen overnight. We've had plenty of examples of companies and CEOs and others, and how long their road and their journey has been. So please, let's stay in gratitude. Let's stay in prayers for the family, for those who are working this incredible business that is going to come to us. Please, let's also stay in grace. And by that, I mean, let's respect each other. Of course, we do that almost second nature there with those that
Dude, something tells me that when this does get switched over, they're going to have to redo everything. It's going to be just like when the OES first went back up again. They're probably going to start off with the login issues. And then they're going to have to get a one-time password again. And we're going to go through all of that again. All of the things that we've already gone through. We're just going to go through them all again this year. It's going to be great fun. It will be like doing the past 6 years in a speed run if they actually do it properly. But part of me is like, nothing's really going to happen. And we're just going to still be sitting here in the same position like 6 months from now. Going, so are we rebranding? Are we launching? We just sitting around? Shouldn't she be telling everyone how to pass on your on passive accounts? Probably. AIM works for all platforms. It does. That's true.
We know on the screen with those that we come across with through Onpassive and through this amazing,
like even Marty and Dana, though, they're gonna have to not be on Passive Nation. They're gonna have to be on Fusion Nation. So like even they have to change their team names and stuff.
Community. But let's also be kind and respectful and compassionate to each other and to those that we meet on a daily basis. Pain can alter people's way of reacting to others. Pain can turn a very kind person into a terrible, terrible person, not deliberately, but through their fear, through their anxiety of what they're going.
I'm going to prepare you. I'm going to prepare you, Scam Chan, because you're going to be surprised how many people will be willing and will be okay with this. Just like all the other times in the past when we've been like, okay, this has to be the one thing that wakes everyone up. There's still going to be this loyal following that is going to be willing to buy in again. And they're going to believe in what Marty says. Oh, well, I got my money's worth with the Onpassive brand because I got my O coins and I got to use O Connect for like 9 months. So I got my money's worth. Sure, they didn't pay me my commissions owed, but I'm willing to let that go for the future of this company. And a lot of you are going to get very mad and frustrated because you're going to be like, what the hell? Why aren't they waking up? But then I also think that Chris is right, that there will also be a lot of people that will refuse to kind of go on. So I'm hoping that this has been waking people up. If you go over into Honest Critics comment section, it might give you some hope. There are a lot of people in his comment section that seem to be waking up to this. So I do feel like there are a lot more people that are done. Like they're like, I can't go another year of waiting around for this to happen. So they'll lose a whole bunch of people. I do think they will. But then there'll still be enough moving on that they'll have the illusion of it being a successful rebrand to the people that are indoctrinated. We'll see it for what it really is over here, right? But them in the scam will appear like it is as successful. And that's what's frustrating, is that they always have like just the right number to be able to manipulate the masses into thinking it's a lot more than it is. Also, I still think they're buying bots and stuff. They'll have to pay $75 for Oak Connect again. We also are unaware if there'll be a buy-in again just to join the OES. Like you had to pay the $97 for Onpassive. But if there is, there's going to be a lot of people that will be willing to pay it. Is that actually his email? Because that would be beautiful. Get all kinds of presents this year. Another new round for fresh founders. And see, that might happen too. There's always going to be new people out there that have no clue what this is, have no clue really about how to spot these scams that might get duped into this. That's why they're rebranding. That's what their hope is, right? Well, if we change the name, maybe we can trick a bunch of them again. Onpassive is on Fusion. Onpassive has always been on Fusion. Double plus good, double thing. You're not wrong. I do feel like on Fusion is basically just taking his GDI Fusion and Onpassive and then putting it together. And then you get on Fusion. I think he did that, wrote it down, went, that's a great idea, and didn't realize if you put a C at the front of that, it describes the whole company. He's just like, yeah, no, that's a great name. So you're not really lying, because I've always believed that the targeted traffic that they keep talking about buying, that's Ash redoing his GDI Fusion. Because that's basically what that did, was do the targeted traffic thing. So I'm like, oh, he's just trying to bring that back into Onpassive. So now I'm like, oh, he's embraced it. Yeah, he put that email in the new AI promo video he is proud of that says, the company will change your life. That's his actual email? I love that for him. Team No Money? Okay. Team No Money. I can't argue it. It describes them well. Body says otherwise. Wonderful rebrand. Yeah. Yeah, it's not going so well for them because everyone's like, yeah, but we kind of know that's your beach body. It's the same thing, just a different name, and we're not falling for that. Luckily, these days, the public's way too smart for that kind of thing. I mean, and especially over the last decade or so, people are starting to get real smart and not becoming manipulated to things like that, where they're like, nah, you ain't gonna trick me with that. That's the good news. Definitely go and check this out for all of your On Fusion information. This is where you should be going to get all of your Onpassive information. If you are not going to this link, you are not getting the truth about Onpassive. I'm just saying. That's one of the only websites on the internet that doesn't lie. The lovely traffic sales will be a product he can't mess up. I feel like he's already done it. His GDI Fusion thing as a system, it was successful within GDI. Obviously. But those people ate it up when he did it. So to him, he saw that as success. So he's like, I'll just take it to the public and then everyone will want this. Every old scam is new again. I mean, you're not wrong. People just keep recycling the same scams. Team Brokies. Yeah, you know what, Mr. Level? You can pretty much call them that now. They've embraced it. I mean, you call yourself Team No Money. What do you think is going to happen?
Through. And let's try and be a little bit more patient with those who may suddenly have a volcanic explosion.
Patience.
And we don't know why. Unless we have walked in someone else's shoes in any of these situations and conditions, we cannot judge. It's not for us to judge and for us to throw labels and accusations at people. Fear is horrific.
Yeah.
And if you haven't experienced real perspiring sweat.
Listen, you should not throw names and accusations at people. And this is coming from the naysayer bimbo, evil tyrant ding dong. You heard it here first. Robin Noble says, don't call people names.
Creating, shaking fear, then you're very fortunate. And if you have, I'm with you. And I just cannot say enough about how amazing people are who handle that every day or go through situations. Surrender your fears and your frustrations to God and to the person and the belief system that you have. And I don't mean surrender as a way of caving in and giving up. I mean surrender in the highest form of exalting and acceptance that they will make it right, because He is able to do that. We just have to believe, we have to give the time, the patience, and the possibility and the outcome
more
averaging of what is possible. Extra streams of income are going to come to us through this amazing platform that Ash is creating for us. And with our faith, with our belief, with our trust, we will all benefit from this. Many of us have had to choose other paths in the interim, and some have done it very, very well, and some have done it, well, with a few questions. But the ultimate is that Onpassive was never meant to stop us from living, and Ash was never the be-all and end-all.
Oh, Bruce.
I know I'm talking a lot. I apologize. I was muted. But please, let's give respect to Ash for what he is doing and the platform that he's creating, not as something that we sit on our laurels to wait in just anticipation and criticism. Take stock of what and who we are and make ourselves better and prepared for what he brings out so that we can benefit not only firsthand for
ourselves. This is what I mean. It's like you give life advice and it's decent, but the only reason why you're giving it is to tell them to use it so that they can prepare to be who they can be for Ash. It's like, you know, drives me nuts.
Our families, but also take what he is presenting and giving to us out into the world as well. So I thank all of you for an amazingly difficult, challenging 2024. And I so appreciate all of you and am grateful to the friendships and the connections that I have with all of you as we move into 2025 to make this a most exquisite year in our own way, in addition to doing it collectively. Thank you so much for having me on here. And I will do my best to come forward more and more as I get better. But for now, it's a little bit tiring and exhausting. And I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to be and what I need. Take care, everybody, and happy.
I like how she's like, it's a little tiring and exhausting to be on here. Yeah, I know. That's been my point the whole time.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, Sister Robin. Thank you. A challenging year indeed for you, my dear sister. But you know, it seems
now
like this topic was coined specifically for you, because when we talk about staying positive and then, you know, having the power of faith through tough times, I think you epitomize that and you've demonstrated that throughout the year. So we thank you for everything, for your example, for your resilience, for your love and care for us. You told us to give gratitude as well to our father, Mr. Ash. So Mike Ellie said that, you've said that, I've said that. So gratitude is a key word here. So thank you. Let us not forget our father, Mr. Ash. Gratitude for him for giving us this grace. You ask us to respect each other, which is really, really important. Let's respect each other, have compassion for each other, be patient with each other, you know, and respect our founder, Mr. Ash, for what he's about to bestow upon us. So I'm going to call on my, I was not supposed to be the moderator. She just forced this onto me, but let me call on my sister Comfort to come on and also give us our own take on when we talk about having a positive, being positive and having this power of faith, how she sees it.
I'm going to need a coffee to get through.
While we caution our brother Chris Johnson to get ready because he's going to come after Lady Comfort. Over to you, sis.
All right. Thank you, Uncle Bob. Yeah, can you hear me? Because my signal is quite weak. So if you can't hear me, just wave and I'm going to shut up. So thank you so much. I'm just very excited because I was not expecting my sister. She came. And of course, we just tap energy from people like her because sometimes you feel like, oh my God, maybe you're struggling. But then when she comes and then speak the way she does, it makes a whole lot of difference. And it's hard speaking after her because she says it just the right way.
It's just like
most
this.
perfect way. Thank you
It
so much.
just tripped me out. I was like, is my system freezing? What is happening? No, the words are still going across the screen just fine. So it's her.
For sis for coming, and I just want
Problem
to
is,
give
yeah.
the opportunity to gratitude to everybody at of course, because we are at least the original us who were like we used to call ourselves the founding members of about 1.4. We still have a good number of people who are still glued to this movement. They trust in it. They're still with hands on plow. Thank you all for trusting our CEO, and trust is real and it's going to happen in due time. So happy New Year to everybody. And of course, faith is that word that we are talking about today. So, faith has a counterpart called fear. So at this point, you have a choice. A few people would fear and then they cower out. They say, oh my God, you derail or you stray a bit like the prodigal son. But then you need to come back home because it is, we all know, even Ash himself, he still smiles, he still comes back like he came out powerfully and spoke to us from the depth of his heart, because he is only building and growing and standing on that word faith, because he would tell you that he is not doing it by himself. There is a higher power, which I believe is God, doing it for him, just using him as an instrument. So that faith is what is keeping us going. And all we can do, if you have the faith, and if you look through Mr. Mufareh's lens and you have an idea of what is waiting for you and myself in future, you can only have faith, and that's why you show gratitude. But then it's by choice. Whatever you choose, it's a free world. Then go along, just go with it, and you're free to go wherever you go to. But then I choose faith and I stand on it because that's what's keeping everybody going. Because even the Bible, God says, the Bible says God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind and faith. You have a sound mind now that things seem to be in the dark, because you have that faith. You know that Ash is still here. He still comes back to say, hello, I'm here. Even I don't have time to tell Chris and Marty, tell them, hello, I'm here, I'm busy, right? So everything is just going as planned by God. You and myself, we are just humans. We look at things from our own perspective. But when we think that this whole thing, nobody ever said that moving a mountain like Mr. Mufareh is doing was going to be sugar leaking, was not going to be a play in the park. So they go through thick and thins and thorns before they finally get there. All they need to do himself, even his family that is supporting him, because sometimes people lose families to things like this. They say, all right, if you choose this, your business, I am choosing some other thing. But then the family stands behind him. It's all about faith. The technical team that are doing all of these things, it's all about faith. You and myself who are here every day being excited about something we are not seeing. They say faith is the evidence of things not seen. We're not seeing, but we know that it's waiting. That's all. We just need to move on and just stand on, because before we know it,
They're really trying to mix religion and science a lot here.
History, and before we know it, everybody is celebrating, and before we know it, everybody sees that thing, it's now ripe, because those who were looking and laughing, they will come back. They'll come back to ask, some will come back to peep and listen to be sure that it's still that thing that you were talking about. So we are still doing well. Our business is doing well. We're doing well as a family, and let's keep on keeping on. Let's choose faith over fear and support our CEO, because the strength that we are putting in, is what is also keeping him and his team going. So thank you so much.
Stop
Thank
going
you,
there.
and let's keep this going. Thank you.
Wow. Brilliantly put, my sister. Thank you so much for those words.
Wow.
Yes, I agree. Something better awaits us. When we sit and we know that something better awaits us is the faith that we have. You say faith is that thing that is not seen. You believe in something, but you have not seen it yet. But every fiber of your being tells you that is it. This is where we find ourselves. It's because of the faith that we have. You say we are doing well, and we should choose faith over fear. Thank you so much. And now let's listen to one of our favorites, one of the darlings of our organization.
Dude, this has been so depressing for a New Year's Eve party. Okay? Like, if I was invited to this party by someone on New Year's Eve, pretend that they're all in a room together, you're all drinking champagne, but this is the conversation of the room, I would think that person fucking hated me. and wanted to punish me on New Year's, I would be like, why did you bring me to the most depressing New Year's Eve celebration that I could ever go to in my entire life? I mean, you just wanted me to like end it on New Year's? I don't know. What are you trying to do here? I would be very, very confused and upset. I would have to question our friendship a lot. I'm just like, wow, what a depressing, like this is their heroes' New Year's Eve celebration. And you would think that a group of heroes, instead of sitting around and talking about depression and tough times on New Year's, that they would be celebrating. And you say, we're the ones that are negative. Jeez.
Don't look around. I'm talking to you, Brother Chris. Let's hear from our brother from Michigan, Mr. Chris Johnson. And then we'll go to Australia. We'll go to Australia after we hear from Brother Chris, and we'll listen to Norel Nokran. So, Brother Chris, over to you.
Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Uncle Bob, Sister Comfort, Brother Mike, and Sister Robin. I got a big lump in my throat.
I know what you're thinking. Who is this dude with the glasses? Who's this dude with the glasses? That's right. So Chris has needed glasses. And Chris has gotten his glasses. And since he has admitted that the entire time that he's been driving in his life up until now, he could not see. So while he was driving around in that RV and we were reacting to him driving around in an RV, Chris was driving that RV and didn't have good vision. And I am just so grateful this year that Chris has not murdered a family of 4 on the road, because that's not the time to be a daredevil. It's just not. I don't have a license. I don't have a license because I was diagnosed with a trauma disorder when I was, quite young. And so I have always had an issue with my fight or flight response. Okay? Due to that, I cannot trust myself to be driving. And then, for example, a car pulls out in front of me. I cannot trust that I would react accordingly. Okay? I'm very self-aware. And because of that, I've never gotten a license. Because I just don't think that it's a good idea for me to put not only myself and my family in danger now, but also every single other person in my entire city who is on the roads. Because I don't feel like I could be a confident driver, and that would make me dangerous. Chris, sometimes you just got to go, you know what, maybe that's not for me. And you should have not been driving if you couldn't see. It's very bizarre to me. He's like, I couldn't even see in the dark, but I used to drive in the dark all the time. And I was like, oh, that's wonderful. I'm just glad that you're, you got your glasses now and that you didn't harm anyone. You wouldn't want to drive in South Africa. I wouldn't want to drive anywhere. I wouldn't want to drive anywhere. I have been in the car with people on several occasions when something has pulled out in front of us, and they were able to quickly react and slam on brakes. And I was like, oh, thank God. Yeah, I can't say I would. So that's just something I know I've never done. I've never driven. So I don't drive. I'm a passenger princess, but it's because, again, I have that self-awareness to be like, I'm just not going to do that. That's not a good idea for me. Get more self-awareness, Chris.
Robin, and all the stuff you just said, you all said great things, but all the things that you said, this is what I heard, Robin. And I want you to listen to what I'm saying. She says, as I get better, she's going to boom. And that's all I needed to hear. It tells me that prayers work. So, Robin, I know you didn't leave, but welcome back to the webinars.
It tells me that she knows how to have a positive mindset and that she knows that saying things like, when I get better, will help her more than saying things like, if I get better. And that is something that you're taught, by the way, when you have a terminal illness. A lot of people know that, but you are taught how to have a better mindset because your mindset can actually make you more sick. If you are stressing the fuck out the whole time, right? Then that's stress on your body. So when you're going through treatment for something like cancer and you're doing chemotherapy and radiation therapy, they often will set you up with a therapist, a counselor, somebody that can kind of help you get through that. And it's very, very important to take that and do that, because you do need to be taught how to have that mindset sometimes and how to kind of do it in a way that it will be the best for your healing. And oftentimes they do that. I'm assuming that that's what Robin is doing. It doesn't mean that she's cured. Chris is taking that statement to mean that their prayers have cured her. Like, that's a wrap. Told you guys, prayers work. She's getting better. She's recovered. No, but through treatment, hopefully, she is recovering and will be able to beat this, as people do beat cancer, Chris. Unfortunately, not so much because of prayer, but because of the treatment. So don't do that. That's faith manipulation we don't like over here.
Thanks. Wow, that's hard for me to do sometimes, but when I asked Collins about an hour ago, send me the topic, because I think I'm like everyone. I want to have something to say, add some value. And then, what do? I get on the internet and here's the first thing I did. I'm not going to lie. All right. I want great rags to riches stories, success stories. And I'm like, I know all these people. I've been talking about these people for over 4 years. I don't want to talk about those people anymore. Great examples, great stories, great journeys. I want to talk about this story, an amazing story about one guy who had a vision.
Oh, for fuck's
sake. He had a dream, put a couple of things together, found out a few more people.
He's not Martin Luther King, Chris.
Really like this, and kept going, and he kept going, and he didn't stop. He didn't stop at all. This is, to me, going to be the greatest story. This story will be talked about like we talk about the other stories for generations to come. And let me give you a breakdown.
It is a great story. It's quite fun discussing the scam that wishes it could but never does. I don't know how to describe it. It's like watching somebody fail constantly on repeat, and then watching a bunch of people with just like blind faith and loyalty in this person, that one day they'll succeed, even though no matter what they do, they are failing and they're their worst enemy. Yet they've somehow managed to get a whole group of people together to be little yes men, to just sit there and go, that's okay, you're amazing, you're doing everything right, everything's perfect. And then it just keeps going on and on and on. It's quite the story of someone who steals $108 million, manages to owe millions of dollars out still somehow, and rips everyone off, but yet they're all still loyal to him. It's a great story of a scam that turned into a cult. It has a very cult-like following with blind faith for their leader that is shit. Because he can't even do anything correctly. It's like the biggest failed cult in the entire world. All right? Everyone else that runs a cult has managed to run it better than this man. But he still somehow is running a cult. And you're like, but I don't understand. So sometimes it can be a frustrating story. But don't think that because we talk about it, it's because it's an amazing, great story. Like
how I look at it. Ash Mufareh jumped into the biggest ocean in the world when it came to starting this company. And in that swim he was doing, and I can swim, and there's the stroke, and he's cruising along in that water, and some of the hardest things that ever hit him is someone tied a rope to his leg with a big anchor. And he just kept going. Another individual tied another rope to his other leg with a bigger anchor. And he just kept going. Some of his most trusted people that he trusted tied a rope around his waist with even a bigger anchor.
Some of his most trusted people that he trusted. You and Marty have to stop listening to Ash talk all the time. You're both starting to talk like him.
And yet he keeps going. Some of the people in this foundation tied a rope around his right arm. And yet Ash Mufareh keeps going. We talk about faith, and I love God, and I love when we talk about God. That's the faith, as Jesus used to say, as a mustard seed. If you have the faith of a mustard seed, you could tell the mountain to move. Nothing's impossible. This is the faith of a man who I will follow anywhere. This is the faith of a guy who's literally now got a rope around his neck. They're trying to pull him under, but yet his faith and his strength keeps going. This story will be the most successful story I think you've ever heard. And let me tell you why. We're all the great leaders way before us, the oils, the railroads, electricity, all did wonderful things. But this guy, Ash Mufareh, he's done it for people, not just Middle Eastern people, not just Asian people. He did it for all people. His successful story is going to create millions and millions of more successful stories through the people that he found along this big swim that he had. Even with all those ropes and anchors on him, he keeps going. It's pretty amazing. You heard Robin, some of the things that she's going through.
It's more like there's this man and he's swimming. He's got his arms going and his little feet kicking. And for some reason, along the way, he finds an anchor and he ties it to his own foot and then just keeps going. And then he finds another anchor and he ties that one to his other foot and then keeps going. And all the while, there's a group of people on the shore going, yeah, keep going, man. Yeah, keep going. So he swims a bit more and ties an anchor to his wrist. Keeps on swimming, right? Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. He's going through the water. And then he decides to just take a giant rock and knock himself out. And people come and they try to save him and they try to unhook these anchors from him. And someone tried to stop him from hitting himself in the head with the rock, but he just wouldn't do it. And then he started to drown. And now my only question is, are you guys going to just be like, oh my God, this guy's insane, just let him go? Or are you going to jump in and save him? I guess that's the only ending that we're waiting for. I have no clue how the story will end. I guess it's up to you. But that's more accurate than the story that you're telling. I'm just saying. Successful story, yeah, right? Like, where is the success? Like this is what I mean. If Ash had accomplished anything, it would make some sense to be like, okay, he accomplished something. But when there's nothing there, I'm kind of like, but what was the triumph? Like, how does the story end? The guy just fucking drowns, and then everyone is stranded on the island because he was the one that had access to the boat? Because that's the ending that we keep seeing. It's like the guy's immortal. And after he drowns, he ends up on the other side of the lake again, only to swim through the lake one more time. Well, once again, tying more anchors to himself. And then just as he's about to get to the shore, he again, for some reason, grabs a fucking rock and just knocks himself out with it. And you're like, what the hell, dude? And then he comes back to life like Jesus on the far side of the lake again. And then he just got his, and you're standing on the shore waiting to be saved by this alleged boat that he had access to, that he promised he would be bringing. And for some reason, you're not even asking, why does this guy promising he can save me with a boat, yet the motherfucker is swimming across the fucking lake? How come he just doesn't take the boat? And it's like, no matter how many times you watch him do that, swimming across the lake and never showing up with the boat, you just keep on standing there on the shore going, the next time he's going to bring the boat. And I bet you he won't grab that rock again. I got faith in the next time. But it's just like Groundhog Day. I guess it's a great story. But again, what is the ending? How does it end? Is everybody left stranded on the island too to die? Because do or die, right? Or do they finally realize that maybe they shouldn't just be standing there waiting for this man that keeps swimming across the lake when he claims he has a boat, tying anchors to himself, and maybe realize that hidden on that island somewhere is a cell phone, and that they can actually call for help. They just gotta stop waiting for the man on the shore and go fucking find it. And then they can call and get a whole rescue team to come and save them from the island. But for some reason, they just keep standing at the shore. And then I show up in a boat with a giant sign saying either hop in my boat or search for the fucking cell phone on the island. But you refuse to read my sign or realize that I'm the one in the boat. So you ignore me, and then we just do this over and over again. Like I said, I'll let you pick the ending to the story, Chris.
Another one. She keeps going. When she said that, as I'm getting better, that reassured me of a lot of things with her, because very good friends with Robin.
Hey,
And
Mark.
it breaks my heart to see any one of my family members have to go through something like this. But Ash Mufareh has gone to the bottom of the ocean with a lot of ropes and anchors and weights on him. But for some reason, this crazy, wonderful, beautiful man keeps popping up, grabbing air, and swimming with his face right now to keep it going for all of us. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I'm
Swimming with his
partnered up with, I think,
face.
what's going to be the greatest comeback in the world's history. A great story to tell your great-grandchildren. This company is truly going to change the world. It has already. It has already. Just a lot of people don't know that yet. We know it because we've been on this this fun journey, I should say. Even while Ash Mufareh was swimming without no hands, no legs, he still keeps going for all of us. And I ask people out there listening, new or old, if you had half the faith that Ash Mufareh does in what he's doing, we're going to be the most successful company in the world, even though we already are.
Hey, Serene.
Happy New Year. 2025, like Mike said, is a few days away. And I believe that story is going to start soon. Uncle Bob, back to you.
Thank you, brother Chris. Thank you so much. You said emphatically, one guy, Ash Mufareh, had a dream. He had his dream and he had faith in his dream. He believed in his dream. He stayed positive in his dream. You see, this story will be talked about for generations to come. The story, the most successful story ever heard or told. He did it for all of us, for everyone. And then that story will also replicate itself. It will generate many millions of stories. Thank you.
Oh my God. If Ash's story is the most successful story ever told, we're in a lot of trouble.
Thank you so much, brother Chris. Now let's go to Australia, where we hear from this wonderful lady, Norel. And then I'm going to prep on our brother Andy Bex from the UK. Mr. Bex,
Oh,
please get ready
Andy,
because you're going to be coming
okay.
after Norel. Thank you, Norel.
Yeah, get ready, Andy, because
Thank you.
I'm going to be hard to follow. Not. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, thank you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've written down a few things because I think sometimes
No,
going back to
Mark.
what Mike said, whether you're 8 or 80, I think it's a little bit on the whether you're getting there. But anyway, I'll come back to that. Firstly, I want to say Happy New Year. We will reach it first.
This is New Year's Eve. This is New Year's Eve. Their webinar from New Year's Eve. So this was just last night. So yay.
Or New Zealand will, and then us, and then you guys all just come up the rear end as usual.
Not one mention.
Robin, thank you so much. Yeah, like Chris, it brings tears to my eyes because I have been where you are on a different level with my heart. When you have open heart surgery, it brings about a whole different person, a whole different learning, a whole different.
Just slithering like a snake, like the snake he is through that water.
Whole heap of crap that you didn't know you had in there. And you start to look at life differently, and mortality hits you, slams you in the face like never before. And all of a sudden you have decisions in your life that you need to make, and they're not always easy. I just want to say about the so bless you for coming out and sharing that, because I know how difficult it can be to do that. I love you, and we all love you. So it was lovely to hear you. One of the things that I wrote down was, when you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine. When you can't be a friend, when you go out looking for a friend and you can't find one, then be one. You know, I'm a person that has had many knockdowns in my life. And each time you have to get back up. We talk about the faith that we need. And Chris, you're so right. You know, putting God above everything, above everything. One of the things that I learned, and I think there's a saying that goes with this, however, I don't have that in front of me right now, is that when we give it to God, we need to give it to God. Not take it back 5 minutes later, not take it back in the afternoon, the evening, the next morning.
What if you don't believe in God? Very large population of the world does not believe in God, but these webinars are constantly focused on the Christian faith too. You don't say believe in Allah, and like half of the people in this thing, that's who they believe in, not God. So what if you don't have a religious belief system? I wonder, are you still welcome in Onpassive?
If we have concerns,
Very
God says,
polarized.
give it to me and let me work this out for you. Sometimes we have to say to God, hey, I can't do this anymore. And believe me, I've done that a few times in my life. I can't do this. This is too heavy. This is too hard, you know, and it is too hard. Just as Mike said, life is.
I want to know how Marty and Chris, knowing what they know, can listen to her say this, claim that they care about this woman and that she's like a sister to them, and just sit there going, we've got her. She's manipulated. She believes in us. We're about to rip the rug out from under her, though. We're going to rebrand them. We're going to ask her for more money. Like, how do you do that to somebody? And then you're just like, you just go on with your day? That would fuck me up. I wouldn't be able to be in your position, Marty. I wouldn't be able to know what I know about this thing and then listen to people that I care about, apparently, right? Talk about how they cannot have one more letdown in their life because they could not handle it. You know, Chris Johnson, I played a clip of you while we were celebrating our New Year's in which you said that people that leave this thing will unalive because they'll be so upset by it. Have you ever thought that keeping people in this and constantly pulling a rug out from under them, you know, and then asking them for more money over and over again could lead to people feeling let down? And that maybe this is the last time that they could handle it. And you're the ones doing that to them. But it's okay. I'm sure you'll sleep fine tonight.
Hard. But if we didn't have those experiences, then I wouldn't know happy and exciting and vibrant and, you know, just plain beautiful and sparkling like Manu tonight. We all have that sparkle inside. You know, one of the things I sent, I do little videos and things like that, and I send it out to people. One of them this week was, nothing can dim the light that shines from within. We all have a light within. If somebody dumped on you and told you that you were crap, you were not good enough, you're not worthy, they told you all the things, and then you took it on board. And you said, oh my gosh, that's right. I don't have the right colored eyes, or my skin's the wrong color, you know, or I'm fat, or I'm skinny, or somebody told you something that made you think that you were unworthy. Okay. And that's a big deal in life, because here with our family on Passive, had it have not been for you guys, the uplifting, you've got to find somebody to uplift you. I cannot express that strongly enough about having those right people around you. When you're having shit days, as you will often do, excuse my French, but as you often do, right, it's going to get tough. How many times does Mr. Ash have people around him that uplift him? His wife, his kiddies? Come on. You know, he needs us. We need him. And together we uplift each other, because that's where strength comes. So going into 2025, I'm going to keep on smiling and I'm going to keep being me, because the more that I'm me, right, the more that I attract those people who like me for who I am. Stop pampering around the people who think that, oh my gosh, you're going to be like this or you're going to be like that. You know, come on. You don't need to be like anybody. You just need to be you and be strong in that heart. Be strong in that person and say, you know what? I love me for who I am. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to bring in 2025 with a mighty power and a mighty bang, uplifting each and every one of you. And I'm there to lift up Ash.
This is
anything
Onpassive.
that he wants from us, then we should say, yes, we're here to help you. So thank you for allowing me to speak, Bob. And thank you for all the other speakers here. Love you all.
We love you too, Narelle. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. When
Like,
we give
how
it
do
up
you-
to God, we give it to God. You see, he needs us. We need him. We have faith in him. He has faith in us. We uplift each other. Well said, my dear sister.
you
Before we
write
go to
that
Andy
down?
Bex, let me notify
You wrote it
us.
down.
Brother Maddie is back. Okay, Brother Maddie.
No, how can you claim to care about Narelle as a person? Listen to that speech, know that this is a scam, and then just go on with life. This is what she came up with? Yes, yes. God gives you patience till you starve to death. It is. It's kind of like it's complete faith manipulation. Let's hope that God can get us through with patience to wait for this thing that's never coming, because this man is deceiving us. And like I said, for those that believe in God, the God that they believe in, I'm sure would not help people get deceived. You know? Rats in a sinking boat can't help each other. I think Kamal uplifted Ash for a few $1 million. I feel like he's going to be the fall guy, right? I do.
He is going to come after Andy. Mr. Bex.
Oh, gosh.
Hi, Bob. Hello, everyone. And
There we
yes,
go.
you're right, Narelle. Thanks for that. I have to follow you. Happy New Year to everyone. Yes. Faith is different for different people. For me, it is the complete trust or confidence in someone or something. That is faith, as Mike has mentioned. And the interesting thing for me is that Ash has that in what he's doing and has made us know that he has that faith, that vision. Listening to him the other day, he said that, you know, he has this vision. He believes he's going to create something that will help humanity, and he doesn't care if he doesn't get paid for it. He mentioned that the other day. Now, that is true faith and belief in what you're doing. And if he can have that, I can have that in him. And for me, that's the most important thing. We have come together as a family over the last 4 or 5 years, and it's really interesting because we've met and we meet people from all different walks of life, and we've made some wonderful friends along the way. I'm here because I listened to Ash for the first time some 5 years ago and thought, I can follow this man because he believes wholeheartedly in what he's doing, and I believe that he will achieve what he set out to achieve because he has faith in what he's doing. So for me, as I said, it's confidence, optimism, and expectation. That's faith to me.
Yeah.
It's something you cannot see, but you have hope and expectation that it will, with the conviction of your thought that it will come to fruition. So that for me is the faith about this, and this is the belief that I have in what he is doing, as Mike quite rightly said, for us. So thank you, Bob. Back to you.
Well said, Andy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's so frustrating to watch all of these people talk about Ash as if he's given up some great sacrifice to be there for them and do this all for them. Knowing that he has pocketed $108 million for his own personal expenses, and even more than that, because of the commissions that were owed, which the recovering Hunbot has worked out to be about $40 million that he would have also pocketed. So it's just really frustrating because it's like, what was his sacrifice? Pocketing $148 million? Oh, wow. I wish I could sacrifice like that. You know, like what has he gone through? But they talk about it like it's so awful. And it's like the people that he brought into this company, Muhammad Kamal especially, were people that he claimed he had known his entire life and were people that he said that he trusted and had done his due diligence with. So even as he tries to blame other people for the issues, it's like, okay, but it was still up to you. Like, why did you lie then about knowing these people for like so long and knowing that they were legit if that wasn't the case? Because now we're supposed to believe it wasn't the case. And that Muhammad Kamal was this awful person that stopped them from doing Onpassive. But honestly, he's the only one that tried to provide something that was promised on his end. You know, he did do the O Media thing. Him and Dr. Susan did get a whole bunch of O Media like visits out, I guess you could say. They showed up at a bunch of events, did a bunch of stuff. They had O Media going. But, you know, it's like, it's just frustrating. Oh, the sacrifices of Ash. Pocketing all that money and not doing anything but sitting around twiddling his thumbs while he bosses other people around.
True faith. True faith. You say Ash doesn't care if he gets paid. I agree with you. We are all here because we have faith in Ash. That is the truth. That's a fact. And we are all here because we have faith in Ash, because he has faith in what he's doing. So that's why I said in the beginning that we should focus on him. Let's put our attention on him, what he does. Before we got on Brother Madi, I'm going to notify this rising star that we saw over the weekend. Was it over the weekend? A few days ago? Grace Mboa of Netherlands. You're going to come after Brother Madi. So, Brother Madi, the microphone is yours.
Oh, Lord.
I'm so glad I get to follow everybody. Wow. Anyway, I'm losing my voice, so I'll do the best I can. I was raised by faith.
Barely hear
by faith my whole life. And it was in God. When I came on this journey for Onpassive, it was actually 20 years ago. I didn't know it then, but as time went on, I realized what I was really looking for was something that everybody has a chance to win. And it didn't happen for the first 15 years. And then I found this company and Mr. Mufareh. And it was then, a short time after myself, Mike, and Dan got into this business, that I started to have faith in a man to do what he wanted to do. And I knew if you could have, and the reason I did is because he had faith in God. And we talked about it, myself, Mike, and Dan. How do we get what we really want? We don't have the resources. I had faith that there was something out there, but I was losing my faith, definitely, because we went through 50.
Well, they would, Stricardo. Stricardo says, do the tech team in Hyderabad have faith that they will be paid one day? They would if there was still a tech team in Hyderabad. They don't have an office anymore in Hyderabad. So there is no tech team there. And I'm assuming that whatever tech team Ash claims that they had, if there was one, again, not even sure if there was, but if there was one, that he hired around June, it is fair to assume that by now they also haven't been paid and probably aren't coming into work. Because people can only go, I mean, even a month of not getting paid is too long. But as we've found out, allegedly, people will work for like 6 months and not get paid. So it would make sense since they've been losing those offices since the fall. One after the other, they're all gone. Dubai, no more Burj Khalifa. They had moved the Hyderabad office to a brand new office about halfway throughout the year. And like I'm saying, that one's also closed down. So there is no tech team here, which is kind of why everything's been in such a standstill, I believe. Right? That's why there is nothing. Nothing's been happening because it can't, because everyone has left. We think that Ash is still renting out the space in Orlando, Florida, where he is, but that might be the only office. And if you go to the Recovering Hunbots website in the On Fusion section, you'll see her mention that. We believe that office might still be there, but we're not sure if the Egypt office, I believe, was under Mohammed Kamal. So they would not have that office anymore. And I don't know what he's done with it. We didn't hear much about it anyway. There wasn't much information about it. Well, see, and that's the thing. The rented mailbox space, yes. That's all they have as a quote-unquote office. Ash does his streams from his house office. Like when he's sitting there in those vases that you guys like are in the back, or now he has what he does in the back with the justice scale, which, good one, Ash. That's it in his home. That's not the office in Orlando. We believe the office in Orlando to be just a rented P.O. box kind of deal. There is no office in Orlando. I was there. It's a supermarket. And this is what I mean. So his office in Orlando is his home office. And then he basically uses a P.O. box. And then the P.O. box is what's listed as the office on the website. Well, when it was listed on the website. Other than that, he has no offices. They're all gone. They've all been slowly shutting down since like the summer. That's why the Dubai employees also had to be let go at the end of summer, was because they owe on rents and they were losing that office. So they couldn't really have employees there anymore.
Different programs, maybe more. And I said, it has somebody with the resources, the mind, and the heart, which a lot of times those things don't go together. Does that person exist? And lo and behold, in 2019, I found out that yes, he does. And it was then, right at the end. I mean, I was even contemplating maybe not doing online business. And the funny thing is, it wasn't because we couldn't build a team. It was because of how it felt. And it was then that I knew what I'm looking for real is this company. And I didn't know it really at first. We kept trying to manipulate things that we knew. We didn't have the resources by far.
Well, they did have a tech team a couple years ago, but they went on strike. Since then, we're not sure. So since the strike happened in Hyderabad and 200 employees went on strike there, we're not really sure. But I did hear that there were some people hired for the new office that they had moved to. But then nothing really came of that. So we're still not sure what happened after that with the employees. It's kind of up in the air. We're not really sure. Did he hire a tech team after that? Probably not. Right? So.
And we just couldn't do this. But when I found it, Ash's faith is so strong in what he's doing, I figure he can handle me jumping my faith on the back of him, because I believe 100% that it's going to work out. And it made my life so much easier years ago, not recently. Even with the bad things that happened, I knew as long as he could breathe and walk and talk.
I mean, Ash must be really strong, because I wouldn't be able to carry Marty if he jumped on my back. So
he's not going to quit. And that's a comforting thing to have on my side, knowing that, because it's a lot on him to take on. You know, he didn't say to 5 people, dream bigger. He said it to 1 million. Now, there was points in time that I thought he's got a lot of faith, and I also thought this guy's a freaking nut. But he's a good nut. And I'm so glad that I met him. I'm so glad that he had that faith. And as you saw him last week, Narelle said it and other people said it. Listen, his power and his drive is what he saw last week. And when he saw that there's 130,000 people, after all the crap that happened, even if we don't know what it was, we know it's bad. You'd have to be Helen Keller not to see that it was bad.
well, I mean, to have 130,000 people when you claimed at one point to have 1.4 million people, it's weird that you wouldn't see that as a loss. That's a lot of alleged family members that have not shown up, that are no longer with you. Lord, the word family has no meaning to any of these people in MLMs, I swear. They don't know what the word means.
Real bad. And with very short notice, 135,000 people watched that video. That meant a lot to him. And if something means a lot to him, it means a lot to me. If something means a lot to all of you, it means a lot to me. And I knew that some people struggle with, if they can't see it, can't touch it, it's not real.
Oh.
I had the benefit of living that life before I met Ash.
That's not what it is. That's not what it is. It's not really fair for you to use my atheism against me here. Not what it is. I'm not basing it on that. I'm basing it on Ash's track record. You have to remember, when I started covering this a few years ago, and I believe that the recovering Hunbot as well, we had some hope that Ash was eventually going to fucking at least put something together for you guys to sell. Some kind of technology products. But, you know, after over 3 years of watching it constantly go the way it has, we have to face reality and go, yeah, this man can't get anything done. He's a complete moron. And every time he tries, he screws it up. It's like he shoots himself in the foot every time. It's ridiculous. So then it becomes like having faith that this thing will actually turn into a company where you guys are selling products and making some kind of commission, even if it's still a shabby MLM. It's gone out the window. I've lost it over the past few months, especially knowing what's been going on with this rebranding. It's like, yeah, no, this was never going to fucking happen. And especially like since you guys went down in the summer. I mean, that was really like, yeah, this is how this was going to go. Eventually, we were probably going to get here because Ash took that 108 million and didn't put a cent of it back into the company. And that's all I would have to announce to people for them to realize that this wasn't going to go well in future. Like, you didn't put $1 back into Onpassive. You didn't pay one bill. You couldn't pay the employees. Like, eventually it was going to go back. And the funny thing is, you sit there now and you say, oh, well, yeah, it was bad. Everyone has to admit it was bad. But we've been saying it the whole time. And then you've been going, no, you people are lying over there. It's not bad. Everything's perfect. You know, but now you're admitting, yeah, it's been fucking bad now. The past 6 years in this thing, it's been shit. Hopefully this 7th year, it gets better now that Ash has taken back the company. So, like, it doesn't have anything to do with my lack of belief in a religion or a faith, my lack of faith, if you will, or in the fact that I'm pretty skeptical. And you're right. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in magic. I don't believe in Santa. You know, there's a lot. But at the same time, it's like, I can see Ash. Okay, he's not in that same category, Marty. Not believing in Ash Mufareh is not, you know. And I have faith in myself. I have faith in my family. I have faith that my daughter's going to be a kick-ass person. So I have faith in things, but real things. And see, Ash is real, but I don't have faith in him. He's a real person, right? He's not a robot. And he's not an omnipresent being like a god would be. Right? I don't understand watching somebody not have the skill set and not have the ability and then steal over $100 million and pocket it. Like, why would I think that he's about to save all of humanity? I feel like I would have to be lying to myself and everyone if I said that he had the ability to do that. And I don't like to lie. I don't like to mislead people. I hate that shit. I don't even like to concern troll people because I hate it so much. I don't like fakeness. It really bothers me. As someone that grew up around a lot of like malignant narcs, it bothers me, the fakeness. You grow up with that in your childhood. When you're an adult, you don't want to deal with one fake smile, okay? So I can't have the faith in Ash. Even though I tried to have some at the beginning, like I said. And I don't think that it is being smart to ignore all of the reality and just constantly have blind faith in this man. Like, eventually you're going to have to come to the realization that this isn't going to happen. And the longer you stay in this thing and lie to yourself, the worse it's going to be. But it's kind of gross that you keep wanting to lead people on for as long as you can, Marty.
But when you meet somebody that has faith in God and has faith in what he's doing, it's very comforting. It makes it very easy for me to do what little bit I do to keep going 100% because what I'm following has.
Yeah, you're right, Marty. It is easier to manipulate people that have faith in God into having blind faith in an authoritarian leader of a cult. You're right. That's why a lot of cults are religious.
Wholesome. And I thought, well, if we could show enough and share enough and uplift others enough, maybe they'll get a glimmer of what I see, because what I see is off the chart. Yes, there's a lot of conversations I have with Mike and Dan, and they're off the chart. But I mean, I can't wait if I have anything to offer more. But right now, I just think all of us are doing what we're doing now. Show the support to Ash. If he hasn't quit now, he'll never quit. It doesn't get any worse than what happened to him in the last 5 years. It doesn't get any.
It actually can get a lot worse. I would advise him to stay in the U.S. It can get a lot worse.
Worse. It just doesn't. And what did he do?
Jail's
he got
worse.
knocked down. He said, okay, I got to get up. And he looked back and threw a life jacket to all of us every time. Every time he got knocked down, he made sure we're okay. Even if he swam, like Chris said, just with his head, because his arms were tied, his legs are tied, and he's got blocks of concrete around his waist. He always made sure we were okay. it's time always from here on out that we show him that gratitude by being there for him. Anyway, that's all I have. Thank you.
So weird. Be there for him.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Marty. Thanks everyone for sharing. And of course, we'll keep on. Bob has just had an issue, and I hope anybody should just be ready. If you can't hear me, then you continue because we still have to move on. So thank you, Marty. Thanks for sharing. And of course, I would like to call on. I'm not sure. Did he call anybody who was coming after Marty? I'm not sure.
Yes, our friend from Netherlands, Grace.
Oh, thank you. Welcome, Sister Grace.
Yeah, thank you and good evening, everyone. I think good afternoon also for some people. I'm Grace Mboa, and I'm really very happy to hear the sharing we are having today and all your ideas and all your thoughts and all your insights, because talking about faith is the whole story, in fact. And power of faith on hard time, I think that all of us, if we look at sincerely, if you go in you, I'm sure that you will find a mission you have. Every one of us has his own mission, and we are unique in our mission. But in fact, we are a family. And what I like the most when I met Onpassive is that as soon as they taught my sister and friend, as soon as she opened her mouth, because I didn't even know what was MLM or whatever. I really didn't know anything about business online, but she told me, Grace, this man is talking about Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa, and he wants to be the successor of Mother Teresa. He would like to do what she couldn't do because she didn't have money. Since he will have money, he will build and then he will try to do what Mother Teresa has done. It was enough for me. And when we are talking about faith today, I feel like, in fact, the faith of Ash met my faith. And I'm
actually kind of sad to think that these people were so down and out that all they needed to hear to have blind faith in one man to save them is this dude here. He wants to be like Mother Teresa. Yeah, it's probably an MLM. So come join. And they're like, oh, yes, I will give my entire life to this man. I don't recommend that. I'm just saying, maybe have more standards. Wait for him to actually prove that he's even remotely like he claims and like Mother Teresa. I guess if that's what you want to be, but not someone I aspire to be. That's all I'll say about that. But I mean, it just goes to show you, like, it really doesn't take much. And that's sad. That's sad. And it's sad that there are people in this world that could have not preyed on people like that. They could have just gone and lived a life and enjoyed their retirement. But instead, they're like, do you know what we should do? We should go find a bunch of people in need. And we should make them a bunch of fucking promises so that they join our community. And then praise us and Ash all the time. It would be a lot of fun. And I'm like, fuck. Next time, just enjoy your damn retirements, would you?
Sure that it's because his faith met each of us faith. That's why we are here today. And also now my mission, I have a mission, and every one of us has his own mission. And I remember, according to my mission, when I listened to Ash the first time, I said, oh my God, you are the one who sent him on my way. Because in fact, it was not a coincidence. For me, it is for every one of us a plan of God. A plan of God, because we all have a mission. And we are so happy to have someone as Ash, because he just come and encourage us. That's why, since our missions are meeting, we cannot, in fact, we cannot just let him down when time is not, is not as flourished as we would like it to be. No, we cannot do that. That means we don't even believe in our own mission. And our own mission, we have it since we were born. I mean, every one of us, if you sit down and then try to listen to yourself, you will find your mission. And when you have a mission, where your mission is coming from, it's coming from your creator, it's coming from God. That's why every time when it's hard, I was so happy hearing, I think it's Narelle or I don't know who said that you have to go back and say, okay, it's hard today. Yeah, of course. It's exactly like when you have they send you a mission. Let's say in a company, you work, you are an employee. And when your supervisor sends you to mission, the first thing you do is to take his contact. And then when you go to the mission, when you arrive there, okay, you have to call and say, okay, I am here now. It's okay. They welcome me, everything, and so on. First meeting, you'll go back and tell to your, okay, boss, it's happened like that. And when it's hard, you try, and then you go back to the boss. This is faith, because you have faith in what you are doing and faith in what on the mission and your supervisor. That's why when the time is hard, thank you, Sister Robin, for sharing. Because when it's hard, just go back. Go back to the supervisor. Go back to the one who gave you the mission, because the mission is not only ours. It's not for us. It's for the others. If you have something, it's not just for you. It's for you to give to the one who is in need, just beside you. So that's why I'm really, I'm very, how am I going to say it? I will not say I'm very happy for 2024, but let's say it like that, because 2024 came to test our faith and help us to reinforce our belief in what we are doing in Onpassive, in Ash. And even for Ash himself, I'm sure he's not the same Ash as in 2023. I'm sure.
It's so sad because they include him in their core belief system now. It's how indoctrinated these people are. It's kind of sad. Happy New Year!
Sure, he is stronger now. So I think that 2024 was really the path where we were supposed to go through. And it's not bad. It's really, I don't know. I feel like when it's too easy, there's something wrong somewhere. But when you can, when you can, you have obstacles. And
see, I'm always scared of that because it's so annoying. Because you tell people, like, if it's too good to be true, it is, right? If it's too easy, then there's probably something wrong. That's what they kind of take that in as. And then you have this whole thing where I just like, oh, it's been so hard. And I've sacrificed so much. So then they tell themselves, oh, this man's being put through trials and triumphs. So it must be real because it's not coming too easy to him. And it's like, that's not what that is. It's not what that means.
And then you go over them, and then you arrive, and then you achieve your goal. Yeah, yes, you are strong. And what you were doing is something which will last longer.
Yeah. Thank you.
I just want to say, according to our faith, really our faith, let's go back to our mission.
Trying to cut her off.
Your mission, your faith will be stronger and stronger no matter what. So thank you very much. I think that's it.
Thank you, sister. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your powerful contribution. Yeah. So Uncle Bob, whether he's back or not,
cut her off.
And of course, let's hear from our sister Miriam. Sis, welcome. Happy New Year.
Oh Lord, we need to take a commercial break. We're about halfway through this. We're going to try to get through the whole thing today, and I know that everyone has missed the commercial break, so we'll be right back.
Today's video is brought to you by...
Do you have a berserker demon? You may think that's a strange question, but I've dealt with berserker demons. What's a berserker? The word describes ancient Nordic warriors who fought with uncontrollable rage. This is where we get the expression, he was so angry, he went berserk. In the days of Vikings, berserkers would enter a trance before battle to get supernatural strength. They fought with a frenzy. Sound like someone you know? As we say, they lose it. Explosive anger can come from frustration, feeling disrespected, trauma, mental and hormonal issues, and drugs, but uncontrollable rage can be demonic. As an exorcist, I've dealt with berserker demons. If you've got one, you'll need more than anger management therapy. You may need an exorcism of a berserker demon of anger. That's inhuman. I'm here to help at boblarson.org.
Whoa, looks like you got a bit of a tangle in your dangle. Did you know that more than 8 out of 10 hose owners die each year? Not anymore. Hey, turn me on and watch my hose get huge. My mom always told me I was a grower, not a shower, and boy was she right. And if you squeeze me in the right spot, all my raging fluids will come flying out of me, and instantly I'll retract to my small, natural, convenient size. Amazing! Oh, yep. Shout outs to all my flowers and growers out there. And just like a real snake, it can contract and expand like an accordion. You know, we really wanted to name it the Snake Hose, but that's the title of a gay porno. I mean, I've never seen it, but Lizard's close enough. This is my next door neighbor, Sharon. She didn't know I was filming her. She also didn't know I had my hose in my hand, too. If your hose weighs more than 15 pounds, I feel sorry for you. You see, women prefer light, dainty, petite hoses. You don't want to be walking around with a big honking nanner. Oh, Sharon. Whoa, watch the whoa, don't get it caught on the thing. Whoa. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. You don't want to end up like that guy, still using a standard hose, not going anywhere, and he's fucking bald. Fuck! Look at my hose, people. Oh, yeah, it's growing fast, and it's not kinking up anytime soon. Now, I don't know who lives here, but it's time to wake up. Behold, the full length and girth of my hose and its full potential. Hey, can't you see I'm filming a commercial here, you fucking asshole? Wah! Take that, fuckboy. No one fucks with my hose. The Lizard hose is about $30. You get 25 feet. That's like, just a little bit more than $1 per foot. Now, fuck it, we'll give you 2. That's 50 feet. Get fucked. Come on, touch it.
Wait, do you have a condom? You don't have one somewhere? Yes. Oi, excuse me there, sir. Do you have these directions? Sure, you just go down that way and make a turn. Don't let her know that your dinger is almost a no-go. Get Tiny Dinger condoms to you discreetly. It's very important to choose the right size, so make sure that you get your tiny size. Don't be caught without a condom. No. Get Tiny Dinger condoms, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. Located at your local CVS pharmacy, Rexall, Shopper Drug Smart, Walmart, and in your favorite streamer's nightstand. We get it. You're into feet, and not many girls are also into feet, but you finally found your dream woman. We got your souls covered now. Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Dinger condoms, trademarked, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand, and the same people who brought to you Sexual Endorphin Spray, trademarked. We have now created the Foot Fetish Fantasia Spray. When you're rubbing on her toes, take a deep breath in and smell the sweet aromas of the toilet bowl, the tire shop, dead flowers, and your nana's perfume. After all, it will turn you on more than just her pinky toe will. This little piggy has been to the market and grabbed themselves a bottle of the Foot Fetish Fantasia Spray, trademarked. It made it so much easier to wake to my ex-girlfriend's feet after she posted up her beach trip vacay photos. Grab your bottle now and make that nasty foot fragrance vanish just like a ghost. Located at CVS Pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Kmart, Chaz R Us, and in your favorite foot fetishist nightstand. Are you getting upset with people's freedom of speech and consumer protection laws that allow the public to speak out about your scam? Are you giving YouTube creators false strikes in order to continue preying on vulnerable people? Is it getting hard to hold it in? Hold in all the bullshit? Well, introducing Tiny Digger Diapers, the adult diaper designed for the man baby deep down inside who's always on the way to the top where his ears will pop. With our FlexiFit technology, Tiny Digger Diapers moves with you whenever you sit on your chair, sit in your RV, sit on a boat, or sit in your home office paid for by the people you scam. The Secure Lock Core offers unmatched absorption for when you're full of shit, which is most likely all the time. These diapers keep you dry and comfortable so you can attend all 500 hours of webinars this week and not miss your chance to sign up a homeless man to your scam. Maybe he also needs the diapers, huh? Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Digger condoms and Fantasia foot spray. Buy Tiny Digger diapers today. Located at Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Target, your local CVS pharmacy, and in your favorite con artist nightstand. No matter where your day takes you from webinar to webinar, you will always be dry and you won't have to cry. Thank you for listening to a message from today's sponsor. Alrighty, are we ready to do the rest of this? Happy New Year, party!
Hi, and Happy New Year to everybody. We're talking about faith and gratitude. While everybody was speaking, I was thinking about what I wanted to say, and I agree with each and every one.
Okay.
Faith is the substance of things hoped for, with the evidence of things not seen. Okay? So if we go by the word of God, we're to go by things we can't see. Okay? Not by everything that's going on around us. All right? Look at Mr. F. He's not fazed by all the stuff going on around him, because I believe that he's walking by faith. All right.
I believe that he is a narcissist. And if you're familiar with reactive abuse and narcissism at all, you will know that a narcissist can be completely calm, even during the most chaotic of situations, because they don't really feel emotions like normal people. So like they can get into an argument with someone, for example, and that person will be getting passionate. You know, they'll be arguing their stance. They might raise their voice a bit. And a narcissist can be completely unbothered. 100% unbothered. Talking calmly as anything, as if there were no problems. So I think that that's part of Ash's issue. The only time he gets mad is when people question him or show that they don't believe and have faith in him. Then he gets a little bit uppity. And that is very common of a narc as well. So they tend to have big egos, although they don't have much self-esteem. A lot of people think that narcs have a lot of self-esteem. No, they don't. But they do have giant egos. And if you go against their ego, then they'll get upset. Then they'll show the emotion of anger. So I feel like Ash has shown me enough of himself that I can confidently make the statement that he has traits like that. I can't diagnose him as a narcissist, but I can say he shows a lot of those traits. And I think that's why he can come on and be so chill, even though everything is going wrong and everything's falling apart. And most of us would be a fucking mess if we had this number of people depending on us and we were fucking up this bad. He just comes in cool as a cucumber. And that's the difference. That's why when you're watching this, if you put yourself in his position at all, you're going, geez, how does he do this? I would be fucking flippant. I would feel like a piece of shit if I pocketed $108 million and lied to people like this. The hell? How does he show his face here? That's why. It's not because he's walking alongside God, though. I can tell you that much.
Right. Faith is something that I believe we all have, and we have different amounts of it, kind of like, the little mustard seed. But for people that are struggling, like Marty says every single day, okay, we are our brother's keeper. So I believe it's our responsibility to encourage each other, to build each other up. Okay. The Bible says build each other up on their most holy faith, or I might have that wrong, but I think you know what I'm talking about. We are to encourage each other. We can not say, you got this and think positive. I am not talking about that because that's not encouragement. I'm talking about give them the word, encourage their faith to grow, help the people that are struggling. That's how I think, since we're a family, okay, we are a family knitted together. Instead of walking separately, let's hold hands and help our brothers and help our sisters. And if we see someone that
Everybody just hold hands and say kumbaya. Onpassive is coming.
maybe their faith is being shaken and
yeah?
they're not sure and they're starting to doubt.
Well,
Instead
maybe
of
they have good
criticizing
reason.
them and saying they're a naysayer or they're this or
No?
they're that, you know, try encouraging them, try building their faith and see if that helps. Because I think we've all been there at one time or another. And I got to think, or I need to think that by doing that, gratitude comes into play because I believe they are going to be grateful that somebody cared enough and took the time to show thoughtfulness and cared to help them by building them up and didn't just like write them off because they're doing their own thing and they're not, and this other person isn't doing what they should.
Oh.
Everybody's struggling in different places.
Well, you know who needs to take this advice, Miriam? Marty and Chris, the top people in this. Right? Once again, are you talking to them? Because they'll yell at people that aren't engaged enough. But then it makes no sense because then someone like Robin Noble, right? She can take off for months at a time. She doesn't have to be at every single webinar, as she stated. So how is that fair? And I get she's going through cancer treatment. And do I think she should be made to show up? No. But at the same time, Bruce looks like he's streaming from a hospital bed. And he keeps showing up because he feels so obligated to come. Otherwise, he gets accused of not being engaged enough. So you have to be fair to everybody and give them all that same grace, right, Miriam? No matter how engaged they are. And this is why you should maybe do this speech to Marty and Chris more. Remind them. Remind them throughout the year if they yell at people that ask them a question about when this is coming. Like, you're not even allowed to ask if this is launching this year without them screaming at you and accusing you of being there in bad faith. So it's fine you're all getting together New Year's Eve to have these conversations. And this seems to be the theme of the night. But let's actually see it then. Because I know that within the next week, I'm going to be reacting to Marty and Chris's streams, and they're going to be screaming at people who are asking questions. When this does rebrand to On Fusion, a lot of people are going to be asking questions. How is that going to go? Are you going to remember this Heroes webinar and how you all talked about this and Miriam gave this speech? Something to think about, especially for Marty and Chris.
So if someone's showing that maybe they're having a problem with their faith, let's help
them.
Let's help each other. Let's be a brother's keeper for real. Let's not just make it sound good. Let's really, truly do it. I mean, let's get passionate about it. Let's get really passionate about it. Our words. That's something else I wanted to say. Faith is an action word. You can't sit on the couch and say, I have faith. Well, get up off your behind and show it, prove it. Prove it. Our word.
Well, it's funny you say that, but like, what has Ash done other than pocket $108 million, not pay the Amazon bill, not pay employees? So now I feel like you're trying to steal my speech, Miriam. Okay, that's my speech that I do over here. It's fine to talk about it. All of you get together, webinar day after day after day, talking about all this stuff you're allegedly going to do to save humanity and how you're going to take over the whole world with your technology. But let's actually see some action, you know? See something happen.
Wait. Our words have power. Okay. Even when we're just talking to ourselves, our words still have power. You know, my parents didn't raise me in church, but when Jesus became my Lord and Savior, everything changed in my life. All right. And my words had to change. Everything had to change. And I know you can't be hot. You're either hot or cold. Okay. But you know what it says about being lukewarm? He'll spit you out of his mouth. So pay attention to your words.
Okay.
And let your words build your faith. That's it. That's it. I love you all.
Thank you, sis. Thank you. Love you too. Happy New Year. Thanks for coming back, Uncle Bob. So
Yes.
I'll I'll
Thank
just
you.
call one person and hand over to you because I'm not
Okay,
sure.
I'm sorry. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
Sure. Yeah. So
So I spent my New Year's Eve with my family until my little one got way too tired to hang out. And then I also hung out with over on Chuck's channel and rung in the new year. Because my husband was watching sports stuff. And I was like, well, I don't really want to do that right now. So I had fun. I had a good little new year. Like, woo, happy new year, you know. Went to bed at 1 a.m. You can go watch the stream on Chuck Chases the Facts if you want. It should still be up. I haven't checked today to tell you the truth. And sometimes we get copyrighted, but it should be there. I'm glad that it wasn't depressing like this. I keep waiting for the partying, for the like, woohoo, yay, new year, you know, and it's just like not coming. It just keep getting more and more depressed. That's it. That's what's happening here. It's just depressing me on New Year's Day. I was like, this should be kind of fun. They should be celebrating. No, we're talking about tough times. I was like, fuck. How dare she refer to Jesus when we all know Ash is their God? Right? It's, ugh. So she shut her critical thinking off. Yes, everyone did. That's the problem with these things. And that's the issue with blind faith, right? Is that you're not using your critical thinking. I'm a very big fan of critical thinking. Okay. Use it constantly. All right. And you can do that without being a bitter person. I don't know why people seem to think that being critical equates to being negative. Not necessarily. It's like educational thinking, you know? Keep the thinking part.
Why not hear from our brother Collins in the house if he has not spoken yet? Welcome, bro.
Thank you, Mr. Comfort. I just want to greet my brother here, everyone. You know, we are grateful and blessed to be here today, another day, which is a Sunday, and the last, as my brother Bob said, the last day before the end of the year. So this is the last Sunday we have, and the next time we'll be talking, as Bob said, is 2025. So we just want to look at, you know, this topic was really nice. You know, when we talk about positivity, and faith as a driving force during hard times. You know, when we look at our life, we always say life is a journey. That's true. Life is a journey with many ups and downs. Nobody can say you can never have a smooth ride. Only God has that smooth ride. God is perfect. That's why in our imperfection, we can see the perfectness of God.
Isn't it a different vibe this year, though? Like, it's far more depressing this year, right? Chris says, kind of like the previous Onpassive New Year's webinars when they thought they were about to make money. Those ones were, like, happier. Now they know that it's not looking good about making money, and now we're depressed. But it's not about the money. You don't even need critical thinking to work out that this is a scam. Just half a brain will do.
perfection. You know, we will always have ups and downs, things will happen, you know, valleys and things that will happen. But during that moment of hardship, that is where our faith is being tested. We really believe in it. You know, just imagine if this company we call ourselves 1.4 million founders, everything was rosy, happy path, as they always say in IT, straight, smooth ride. Nobody will complain, even from the first founder in 2018 to the last founder. Nobody, you will never hear any complaint because they believe that their dream has been met. But sometimes God.
Yeah, no, you're right, Collins Manna. If this had gone smoothly as an MLM, not one person would complain. There isn't over 1 million people on this platform alone that are anti-multi-level marketing, network marketing, and online scams. There isn't an entire anti-scam community of millions of people that complain about scams, as you would say. I say speak out about. You call it complain. So yeah, no, if this had gone smoothly, not one person in the entire world would have complained about it or had an issue at all. Yeah, for sure. Come on, dude.
It's something to happen to test our faith, to show who are true founders, the true believer in the company that can ride on to Mr. Ash Mufareh. Just imagine if I'm a millionaire, I would never know if Bob is true to me. Only
like, for example, you complain about a scam. You're also helping spread awareness about it. So in some cases, complaining can have a positive outcome. You can always take that negativity and use it for good. It's kind of like, you know, when you end up with your life being in a few MLMs and a cult or two, and then you're like, I'm going to take that bad experience and I'm going to dedicate my life to speaking out about these things now. And you take that bad situation and you turn it into a good one. You can kind of do that with complaining in some cases. People that are commentary YouTubers, for example, that speak out, because again, I consider it speaking out about, but they'd consider it complaining about problematic creators that are, I know you hate them, you've made it very clear, me too, but that are like PDFs, for example. Are they technically complaining about this person? Yeah. But is it for the greater good to spread awareness about them, warn people about them, make it so that people can protect children from them? Yeah. So it can have a good outcome as long as it's handled with some class, which that's where people fuck up out here. All right. You gotta, you know, have rules for yourself out here. Keep it classier than not. So sometimes most people don't know what the word critical actually means. They hear critical and just think judgmental. Exactly. And that's kind of my point, right? It doesn't necessarily mean judgmental, negative. It doesn't have to be like a negative thing. You know, having a critical eye could mean that you're paying attention to detail. Are you an artist? Because that's what they use. They look at their work with a critical eye, and that's how they get better at it. Same with content creators. If you're watching your videos and every single time you're like, this is the best fucking video I've ever made, and then you're like popping them out, right? And you don't ever look back and go, oh my God, that video I made a year ago, like the editing is so awful. You'll never learn and grow. Teach yourself how to get better. So it's good sometimes to have a critical eye when you look at things, right? It can be used for positive. The minimum wage just went up here in Michigan. All founders could work here part-time and make more money here than they have in 6 years in Onpassive. Ain't that the truth? And yeah, that's the thing, is that minimum wage should be going up in a lot of places right now. along with the living wages, will be going up again probably soon. That's going to be fun. The lineup keeps getting worse. It really does, though. Right? Like, there's no excitement to be had in this entire webinar for New Year's. It's very bizarre almost. I feel like I've entered some kind of weird fever dream. Call him scammer. That's so true. I've worked out that my Onpassive friend could have made over $70,000 with minimum effort and no responsibilities by getting a part-time job instead of spending hours on webinars. Yes. Yes. I love how my chat is all on the same page with me with Mother Teresa. I'm like, not the woman I would look up to. I don't want to get too into it because people accuse me when I'm critical of people like Mother Teresa. They go, oh, well, she's just doing that because she's atheist. And like that woman was a nut. And it's like, no, she was not great. The power of Ash compels you. We need Bob Larson.
It's true to me.
We need Bob Larson to come and deliver these people from the Ash Berserker demon.
But when hard times hit, like the way hard time hit Job in the Bible, those who are Christian, whether you are Jews, you are Muslim, you are what, all of us have the Old Testament Job.
Oh, I don't know. Everybody apparently
he was very
praises
wealthy.
God here.
But when hard time hit him, even his own wife said, curse that God and die. Imagine, your own wife said, you know, we are tired of this. You need to curse this man, follow your friends. Your friends, they were all, but he said, you know what? The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh. Blessed be the name of the Lord. That's what he said. There are times that God will put you. Little James, go and look at it. He was disabled, but he healed a lot of people in Israel. Came to Jesus and asked Jesus,
oh,
I have done miracles, but why am I not healed? He quoted him again to Job. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
What a true story.
When you will see your Father in heaven, you will leap like a deer. He said it's not about your physical appearance, because I can deal with your physical appearance than to deal with the temper of Peter. Peter was hot-tempered. He said it's better God can deal with your physical appearance. It is not about your physical appearance. But what we are saying here is this company we are in, it is a test of time and the test of faith. To test our resolve, to test our resilience. Do we really believe in where?
Okay, no. But here's the thing. Okay, well, listen. First, they joined Onpassive for finance. Then they joined Onpassive to save humanity. Now you want them to say that they joined Onpassive to test their faith and their resilience? How does this just keep getting more and more cult-like? Like, that's insane. I didn't join. Like, if I was a member, I'd be like, I didn't join this company for my faith and my resilience to be tested. I joined it so that I could sell a product, make money. You told me I'd be a millionaire and that I'd be able to buy other people their groceries. I could just walk through the grocery store and buy groceries. Okay, this is what Marty and Chris told me. And now you're like, oh no, you're here to have your faith tested and your resilience. Listen, dude, I've already been through enough in my fucking life. All right. I got a full-on trauma disorder diagnosis that I've been dealing with for years. I really don't need to go through more trials and tribulations in my life. It might put me in a psych ward. Like what are you doing to people? You know, like I would not sign up for something that would be like, I am here to completely test you as a person, your faith in all of humanity and your resilience. Because I'm just like, I'm good. Thank you. And there's people in this that are in a similar position to me. You just heard Narelle talk about how she basically couldn't be tested one more time. Woman's at the edge. She's like, I can't be let down again. So no, we're not going to start testing her faith and resilience. That seems cruel. If you ask me, that's cruel. The unholy trinity, Ash, Marty, and Chris.
We are. do we really believe in Mr. Ash Mufareh and his dream? I said he is building his dream so we can fulfill our dreams. Without his dream, maybe there are people who can build their dreams out of Onpassive, but I believe without Onpassive, I have to work my 9 to 5 until I die. That is it. But I will fulfill my dreams, what I can achieve more through the platform that Mr. Ash Mufareh is building. So whether we like it or not, the dream is going, and it's going smoothly. Though we don't see it, it is happening behind the scene. But do we really have faith and that resilience? Because faith.
I love how like Marty comes out and he's like, yeah, I know it's been shit for the last 6 years. And then Collins comes out just a little while later and says, everything's going smoothly behind the scenes. And as a member of this, you're supposed to believe both are true at the same time. And then you're also supposed to do mental gymnastics the entire time you're in this to convince yourself that both are true. Even though it makes sense, it doesn't make sense that these two things could both be true. It can't have been a disaster for the last 6 years and also be all moving smoothly behind the scenes. But you see, they're expecting you as a viewer of this webinar, as somebody in Onpassive, to just accept that both are true. And that's why blind faith is dangerous. Because exactly, you shouldn't be forced to do doublethink constantly in order to believe in this thing. But you have to. That's the only way you can believe in it, you know? And you do that for too long, and you're not thinking normal anymore. You're not in your right mind. Don't give your mind up for this. Don't trade in your entire brain for this.
It comes with resilience. You said, I believe, like what Robin said really touches my heart. Maddie said something, I didn't listen to everybody because I was behind the scene, but faith comes with resilience. Because when test of time will come, that is when you will know the true people who stand by you. You know, when tests will come, that is when you will know. You will never know people when you are rich. You know people when downfall will come. That's when you know the true people. And this is the time Mr. Ash Mufareh is saying that test as he is going through all of this, marking all the dots and crosses to make sure the system works. You know, when he rises back, and I know he is rising back powerfully than where we are, what will happen to those who are sitting and thinking like it will never happen? This man have lost everything. Like the way they laughed the prophet when he was building the wall of Jerusalem. Look at the wall you are building. Even the fox can run and bust that wall. But he built it. That is how it is. When God is on your side, who can be against you? He is doing his part. Let us do our part and know our own business. Because the only thing I can do is to understand what he is doing. To build my business, know that he is building something for me to build. Let us remember that the affiliate that will come, they will come and blow up this site. More than what we think. We think we deserve it. I always say you don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. Because affiliate that will come, have never been founders before, will blow this place and said, I wish I was a founder. I wish I knew this before. So I will leave it there. And I thank you, Sister Comfort, for calling me. Thank you, Rabob, for anchoring our Sister Comfort. Thank you.
Wow, that was
all right, bro. Collins, great job. I'm sorry, guys. I was interrupted here, and then I tripped on my laptop. So this is a different laptop I'm using now. My laptop fell, so it got frozen. So I'm glad I could bounce back quickly. So before I left, Brother Mali was saying that as long as Ash breathes and can walk, he's not going to quit. I heard that before my laptop had its thing. So that tells.
Okay, what happens if something happens to Ash? Like, what if in the next month, Ash, I don't know, gets hit by a car and completely disappears? Then what? And that's why you shouldn't put all of your lives and all of your future and all of your dreams in just one man. Because if something does happen to him, this whole thing's over. And it's like you won't even think about that. It's not a possibility to you.
Tells us that even Ash himself has faith in what he's doing, so we should have faith in him. And I heard Mariam also say that she has faith, that our words are powerful. Our words are powerful. And I also add that our thoughts too, Mariam, are also very powerful. Okay? So let us have faith and believe in our founder, Mr. Ash, and we know that we are at the right place. And Brother Collins, what did Collins just tell us? Test of time and test of faith. It is when you are down that you know your true friends. I agree with you 100%. Test of our resolve. And then Ash is building his dream for us to have our dreams. Those are one of the most powerful words that we've heard so far. I'd like to see Marcian is up, her camera is open, and then I'm going to prepare Brother Oliver to come next after Marcian, if he hasn't already done so. Marcian.
Oh,
please.
Lord.
Hello, everyone. Happy New Year in advance. And I love everything that everyone has said here today. And I believe that family is a circle of friends who love each other. And you all are my family. And I have faith of everybody that is here today. And that's what is bringing us here together, the faith and the love that we have for each other. If we did not have that faith, and from what our CEO have told us, we will not be here. It's all about the beginning of what brings us here. What makes us here today? What happened that we are talking about faith today is because somebody gave us the reason to have that faith. And it's the business that we are hoping, and we have faith that is going to be in the next days or weeks or anytime soon coming up, that is going to give us continually having faith to do the things that.
I like how you guys always talk about days and weeks. Let's start talking in years. That's more realistic based on the history of this thing, eh?
We have to do in the year 2025 to come. So we believe on him. We have faith on his business. We have faith on ourselves. And we knew that it's going to be a good thing that is going to help the humanity. That's the faith that we are having. And talking about faith, is something that is very powerful, faith and trust. I'm going to bring the trust in. Because when you lose your trust from people, you lose your dignity. You lose everything. If you don't trust somebody, you cannot have the faith of what the person is saying. So for me, the trust and the faith, they both goes together. And we all trust our CEO. It means we have faith on him.
I don't know
we trust
why.
Mr. Mufareh. We have faith on what he is doing. We trust the people that they are here, the people that every single day for the past 4 years have been talking to them more than my own family. That's why I call you guys the circle of friends, are the people that you love, that they become your family.
That's not a flex. I've been replacing my real family over the holidays with these strangers on the internet. Or even with friends on the internet, to be real. Like, let's not replace family with internet. Just don't do that. That's a bad idea. But they keep bringing this up over and over again. Like, they all keep saying this. I spend more time with my Onpassive family than I did with my real family this holiday. And I'm like, yeah, well, if everyone was acting like this, what a shit holiday you had. Holy crap, I would have left this webinar and I would have been like, I'm going to go hang out with my family. This shit's depressing.
Family, we are here.
I've muted you guys and gone and checked on my daughter briefly during this, basically because I did that. I was kind of like, I'm going to go see what my kid's doing for a minute. This is fucking going to make me want to jump.
We are now family. We have faith on each other because all of us will believe in one thing. We have one thing that is taking us in one direction. That faith, the great thing that our CEO is going to bring to us, the business that he's going to give us to take the humanity and give dignity to the people that they need around the globe. A lot of people have lost that faith because they don't believe that they live again. They don't believe that they will have something that will help them tomorrow. They don't believe again that they can ever in this world get back to their faith and do something. But because of this business that is coming up,
some people don't need blind faith in something. I know it's a crazy concept, but some people just don't need that. And they can still live very happy, fulfilling lives with morals and values, just like the people who are religious do, or claim to. I don't know. Most of the worst people that I know are actually Christians, and most of the best people I know are atheists. So I might be biased, but whatever.
Faith and the hope have given them life back again. And as for me, that's what happened. Because 4 years ago, I did not have the kind of the faith that I have today. I didn't believe that I was going to leave some kind of legacy in this world. I didn't believe that I matter. I didn't believe that there's something in me that somebody else can inherit. But the faith that our founder, Mr. Ash Mufareh, remind us about every day and keep telling us that you value, you are capable of, you belong, you are somebody. People are looking up you. He gives us that faith and he gives us that opening that we are sure that the years to come, generation to come, we are going to bring that faith out there and give them what they're supposed to have, what they have, that they don't count on it anymore. Because a lot of us, we have all of that in us, but somebody have to push it. Somebody have to let us know. Somebody have to make us believe again. That person that did make us believe is our founder, Mr. Ash Mufareh. And we cannot just thank him enough for carrying all the load, because he have to work days and night over time to keep letting us know that I am here for you. I am doing it because I know that when you see what I'm saying, that I'm bringing to you, if you believe and you keep with me, if you have that faith and you sit with me,
we see
years, days, minutes, soon, from now on, you are going to realize that you did not make a mistake. You are going to realize that you have that value that you think that you have lost. You are going to understand that what you have on you and you believe on me, I've enlightened and bring the beauty
hard,
on you
Jelly.
to other people, because you have that faith. You have that thing in you. You have that understanding.
I feel like I had to learn over the past few years how to follow each individual person of this, because they all have their own ways of speaking and they all go on these weird rampages about other things. I don't even know. But I'm slightly following it. She's doing a more empowering speech about how we have to have faith, even if things are going bad. That's the gist of it.
You have that power. The power of changing somebody, the power of giving somebody the faith, the power of giving dignity to people, the power of taking the hungry someone and giving them what they need, the power of giving cold and fresh and pure water to somebody around the globe. You have that power. And
Ash had that power and $108 million to do it with. And as I continuously will continue to point out, because, I'm going to talk like Marty. I'll continuously continue. He didn't build one water filtration system after he promised several different communities that one of the first things he would do is bring them data centers and build them water filtration systems. So imagine you're in a community that does not have access to clean water, and this man shows up claiming he's sent by God, and he is going to bring you that water. And then you're just left waiting around for 6 years. It's shitty to do. It's shitty to do. And I hate having to say this, but even Mr. Beast has built water filtration systems more than Ash Mufareh has. And I don't watch a lot of Mr. Beast, but it frustrates me because I've spent hours watching Ash make those promises. Seek out these people. There's something really cruel about choosing to seek out vulnerable people to give them broken promises and false hope just to let them down. And he knows damn well he's not going to fucking change their country's situation and change their lives like he says. So he's kind of a piece of shit. And especially after you find out the man had $108 million. I mean, how many water filtration systems could you build with that? A fucking lot. He could have built tons. And he didn't even build one. I can't even say he did one. I would love to. It would be great if just one of those communities got their water filtration system. But didn't happen. So can we stop bringing it up? It triggers me. It makes me very upset. I would just pretend like that never happened if I were you people. Honestly, if I was someone in Onpassive, I would never ever mention data centers or water filtration systems. Because at this point, it's like, yeah, no, it's not happening. I mean, he lied about having a data center to all of you and then came out here and told you all that Amazon was cutting you off, and he still went. It's okay that he lied. It's all fine.
Here for you. So just sit with me, believe in me, have faith of me, and you are going to get there with me. And that's what we are doing. And we thank him for that. I thank him for that. And I believe that the year 2025 is going to be a great year ahead. The year that our faith and our things that we have been doing so long is going to be open to the whole world. And that name, Ash Mufareh, is going to be
every
known
year
around the globe. And people are going to stand up and say, we have somebody that we have our history. We are not just talking about other people, but this man, the name is now written in the scripture. Thank you so much and Happy New Year 2025.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Beautiful, Marcia. Thank you so much. Ash has given us a reason to have faith. And then you said faith without trust is like you've lost your dignity. So we trust our founder, Mr. Ash, and we believe in him. Thank you so much. That was well delivered. I'll go to our brother Oliver Fonte, and I think have we heard from Sherry? Not yet, right? I haven't heard from Sherry.
Sherry.
So Sherry is gonna.
We need some
Did you hear from
Sherry.
Sherry already when I had my issue? Okay, all right. So
Sherry
Sherry
has
will
not
come.
spoken.
Sherry, we need you. Sherry, please come and save this thing with some positivity. Tell everybody they matter and to call their loved ones and to not replace them with the people in this thing. We need you, Sherry. Come on here with a big smile and your makeup all done. And save this fucking thing, will you? Please.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sherry has not spoken. Then the person who is raising it, he's a long time founder, but he's never like participated.
Okay, so we should bring him first
at some
now.
point. No, at some point when you remember him.
Yeah, I was going to bring him after,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give
because I
us
just saw his
Sherry,
hand.
please.
We're good. Okay, so we'll go to Oliver Fonte, and then we'll hear from our sister Sherry. Oliver, over to you.
Oh, Oliver first?
Matt. Yeah, hi everybody. Happy Sunday, Happy New Year in advance. And I hope we are all fired up. And our topic is the power of faith in tough times. Yeah, like my brother just said that they'll test your faith in the time of difficulties and to see how strong you are. And when we want to talk about faith in tough times, you have to be patient. You know, patience. If you are not, if you don't have that patience,
Feel
you
so
will lose it.
betrayed.
And losing the battle is not what you want to put yourself. Losing that battle is when God is testing that your faith, that you have to activate that faith powerfully. You have negative people around you who also want to come and make you to understand, to really test that faith. That is when that patience now kicks in. You activate that patience to kick in. And you know that you are a man. You know that you are a woman. You are a person that believes that Mr. Ash Mufareh, this thing is going to happen. This company is going to realize what he's building from that sacrifice. You have to sacrifice.
Why is he so mad?
Success is not something that comes that easy. You have to keep moving. You have to keep moving. You have to sacrifice. If you don't sacrifice, that good thing that want to come your way will be that sacrifice. So you have to sacrifice. And
Jesus Christ, sir, calm the hell down, Oliver. Calm down, sir. You're a little angry for New Year's celebrating.
That's why that faith you have to activate that faith. So that faith now will come in, and that sacrifice, you realize your beliefs and your dreams. Consistency. You have to be consistent. If you want to have that faith, you have to be consistent. Consistent means that you'll be tested time and again. Our CEO, 2024, he told us that mid this year, things crash. But what happened? Because of that consistent, because of that resilience that he got, and because of his belief and that faith, he activated that faith back in him. And he said, it's do or die. He has been consistent with that. Do or die.
Dude, he's always said do or die. Like, they act like it was like some big upcoming of his. Like, oh, and then he showed up and he was like, now we're going to do or die with this thing. That's always been his stupid motto. You know, he ain't doing, so.
He came out on the 24th. He make us to understand that whatever thing that we've been thinking before, forget it. Technologically and structure-wise, what is coming is a different animal. If you think that old connect that came out is something, know that what is coming now is a different thing. It makes us to understand it. And I will plead with everybody, go back on that his video on the 24th. Listen to it. And when he talked and he came in front of the camera, he said, my name is Ash Mufareh. Listen to it. When you listen carefully, you know that we are right. That faith, that we believe. And I was disappointed. Yes, I'm happy, but disappointed also that only 130-something thousand people went and looked at it and listened. We are more than 1 million. I was thinking that more than 500,000 people would have listened. But still, it's still good because the news is still out there. Come on, discipline. You have to be disciplined if you want that faith. You have to be disciplined. That discipline keeps you growing, keeps you moving, because that faith is there. Self-confidence. You have to have that self-confidence. Don't be distracted by negative people. Don't surround yourself with negative people. I know the people I talk to on a daily basis. We motivate each other.
I don't know. You seem pretty negative. You're like mad today. Like take a break or something.
Talk to each other. We listen to ourselves.
Lord.
Talk to Collins. I call my Ellis at times. We talk and we exchange things. We keep ourselves motivated. We motivate ourselves. When you see that you know there's a downside coming in you or some doubts, call somebody that you know that person will fire you up. That self-confidence, it will keep you moving and you're going to be fine. Even if they don't like you, even if those negative people around you, they will run away because they know you have that confidence. They know you have just one language in your mouth. This company. I've already claimed it. That is the self-confidence I got in me. I've claimed it. That it's a do or die. As the CEO says, do or die. It is a do or die. So I just want to say, this our company is an ideology, as we all know, and it's a movement. That faith, these tough times that we are going in, that we're passing through.
Yeah, sometimes I read the closed cop today, and right there it said, "This is a movement. Duck feet." I like it. Duck feet. We need some Fantasia foot spray now for duck feet.
The day will come when we'll look at, we'll turn back and look at it. We'll just smile, and you'll say, if they say you should come back again 10 years, I will still be in. Thank you. Happy Sunday. Happy New Year. Bye.
Wow.
Why are you so mad?
Firing up the base. Activate.
Fire it up like crazy. Why is he so upset? I felt like he was scolding us the whole time. You will sacrifice for Onpassive. You will. You better do it or die. And I'm like, ah. All right. We need some sherry in our life. Bob, give us some sherry.
Your faith, he says, activate your faith and beware of negative people. When you activate your faith, you beware of negative people and then you be consistent in the faith. That's what my brother Oliver Fontaine has just told us. And then you'll be fine. Let's go to Sherry, and then after Sherry, I think Sherry will Sherry, and then we'll go to Brother Vincent. Oh, I just saw Keith just put his camera up, and then we'll go to Martin, and then we'll wrap up. So Sherry, over to you, please.
Martin,
what do you think?
Oh my Lord. Everybody said so much positive and amazing things. Thank you for having me here. Happy New Year pretty soon.
Sherry, don't dress like you're in the Lost Housewives of Los Angeles or something. Okay. I don't do this.
I do want you to know that the topic was very powerful. Stay positive in the
powerful
faith in tough times. We've heard so many people on here already say that we've all been through tough times, right? And tough times, everything is just temporary. And people say things to us that throw us down in our faith, make us not believe on getting better. Life is going to get better. So that makes you dig into the deeper hole of, oh, I'm, never going to have the faith or whatever. Because faith you can't see, you just feel it. You feel it in your heart. And with Ash, our CEO of the company, Mr. Ash Mufareh, and his lovely wife and families, they already knew that everybody in the world, I don't just mean me, I mean everybody in the world, if you're listening to this 6 months from now, they're listening to this now, he knows that every single person matters. And his faith comes from whatever you believe in. I say the higher power. And right now,
I wish she was saying it from her point of view instead of saying Ash believes that everyone matters. Usually she comes on and say, and if you're feeling down about yourself and people are telling you, and then she lists off very specific things that people are allegedly telling people, and I'm always kind of like, who's saying that to you, Sherry? And then she goes, you matter. I believe you matter. And it's so sweet. But this one, it's like, and Ash knows that everybody matters. Not my favorite one, Sherry.
The faith in this gentleman, Mr. Ash Mufareh and his lovely wife, has to have come from within his heart and also from the higher power. Because I really don't know anybody who could have gone through, done whatever to keep this going. But in his heart, he knows that every single person on this earth, no matter where you came from, handicapped or not handicapped, different color or not, different languages or not, can see, blind, whatever, he knows in his heart. Everybody has a passion. Everybody's meant to be here. Everybody is unique in their own way. So he set out to make this world a better place. And gee, doesn't that remind us of somebody else? Higher power, folks, whatever you believe in. It was brought to us by higher power. And he will not quit, just like the higher power never quit. There are always going to be naysayers. And there's always going to be those people in your life who put you down. But know that you matter. And we are put here on this earth for a passion, for a reason. And that's to help each other. Our passion, our drive, our whatever it is needs to go deeper, because God didn't want, or whoever, whatever power you believe in, whatever it is, they didn't want you to do it alone. And so Ash Mufareh set out to have this. So he's not doing it alone. He knew that everybody's life matters and needs to be felt, heartfelt. And that's why we're called AI with Heart. Our CEO of the company will not give up, because he knows this world is hurting in so many ways. And so his faith is going to go through our hearts and spread. So whether you're just a person who's using our platforms or anything else we have,
Sherry,
it's going to spread, because people want to feel needed. People need to feel heard. People need to show their passion and their drive. So my hat goes off to everybody here who's sharing your passion and your drive, and that you've gone through anything. Know that it's temporary. Have the faith. Those people told you it couldn't happen. Well, watch out, world. We're bringing it to a completely never level, and then some, and then some. For generations and generations and generations to come, we're going to shake up this world to a more positive and loving and place. I love you guys all pieces. I don't want to be long. Happy New Year. Beautiful things are happening in 2025. Beautiful things will continue to happen years and years to come. Thank you so much. I love you guys all pieces.
Thank you very much, Sherry. Thank you very much, Sherry.
Sherry.
Thank you. The higher power is all about the higher
Happy
power.
New Year,
The special
Sherry.
mission. Thank you so much. Let's go to our brother Vincent Ete, and then after Vincent, we'll go to Keith.
What was that noise? I didn't like it.
Okay. Well, thank you, my brother Bob. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much to be here for this great webinar. We thank you, everyone. So today, I think is the last webinar of the year, and then I would like to show my gratitude to our leader Ash Mufareh, our great leader Ash Mufareh and his team. My gratitude to everything they have done all these years. And as we're approaching the end of the year, we would like to show him that he has done a lot. And then also thank him also for the great job that he has done for us. Also, I would like.
What has he done? Name one thing.
It's also the same time to thanks also my brother Marty Degamo and Chris Johnson, Mark Ellis, my Otexo brothers. Also, they have done a lot. The great job that they have done. So we are happy for that. And then also God bless them and carry on continuing the great job they are doing. Also, another thanks to the Aero team, our big team, Aero team, those people who organize this webinar every single Sunday of the year. So it's like 52 Sundays for 24. So today also is opportunity for me to thanks all of them for the great job that they are doing, every effort that they are doing for us every single Sunday. Well, thank you a lot, and God bless you and reward you for the great job that you are doing, and keep doing the good job, because we know all of you are doing. And also the last thanks go to every single people here. Listen to this webinar. Also come to this webinar every Sunday, because most people who come here, we are all part of Aero now. So if I say Aero team, is all of us. It's all of us. So you are included. So also all the people who are listening to this great webinar and people sitting.
Oh, Aero team. I guess you could still call yourself the Aero team when you are on Fusion instead of on Passive.
There, listen, we also thank you for the great effort and then the good job that you have done for the whole year 2024. So we thank you very much for your, and then we appreciate the great job you are doing. And then it's not the end. We want you that the next year, the year coming, you keep doing the great job. We will much more better than what we have done. More effort, more joyful, more love, more peace for year coming.
More
then I believe
product?
that Mr. Ash Mufareh, our CEO, is doing the great job, and then we carry on and continue doing the job. I know most people, he said it, the person that we need to move forward. We know we have the faith also in all of us. So let's do the great job. Let's continue to do what we have been, and then let's keep doing what we know best to do. So it's not hand. The war is coming is more than what we are doing now. So let's carry on doing the good job for our team, because this is a great team, it's a great family. So we appreciate everything that you have done. So not be too long. So I wish you a happy new year for all of us here, and then also for the team also that are working for us. They are doing the great job backhand. They are doing the great job for us with our CEO. So God bless them. God bless our great company. God bless everyone in this great company also. And then the new year bring peace, prosperity, and great news for all of us, so that, like Mr. Ash said, it's going to change our life. And then we hope, and then we believe, we trust that this new year thing will come up and the thing will change our life. So thank you everyone, and then happy new year for everyone, and God bless all of us. Thank you.
Happy new year to you too, my brother Vincent. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Let's go to our brother Keith, and then I think after that we'll hear from Mr. Martin. He's waiting patiently. So Keith, over to you.
And Marty again? Why? What? Over to you. Hello.
Please unmute.
Unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Let me say hello to you, Uncle Bob. Good to be here again. Grateful to you and us for hosting such an amazing segment here. And let me say hello to all the panelists and those who spoke. I heard quite a bit of powerful words and expressions. And of course, it was good to hear Robin. It's been a while, so it was a pleasure hearing her. Real treat. But the topic says the power of faith in tough times. And as I thought about that word faith, I thought about free. We didn't pay for the thing. You know, it came. We got, and the good book says we all have a measure of faith. What? And faith can do so much powerful things, and we don't have to pay for faith. So that's a major blessing right there. And you think about tough times, and you think about the fact that if you have faith and you exercise the faith, when you do go through the tough times, which is inevitable, it's going to happen.
Woo!
One nation, Onpassive nation.
Yeah.
Hello world. Meet Onpassive.
Meet Onpassive. Get ready, everybody!
We're gonna turn this online world upside down.
Catmo! Catmo!
Say it, Catmo. miss your family for
I
the
love
vision
this
that
part.
you lead. Thank you, staffing, had a bad, and all the other officers. We are one passive nation, yes, we one big family. Thankful for the leaders and the sacrifice they made. I'm gonna call some names. I'm gonna call some names. Yeah, I'm gonna call some names. Here we go. Here we go. Thank you, Mike and Marty, Robin, Chris, Charles, and Susie. Red and Robin, Dan and Jeffrey, Sonny and Billy. Lynn and Minnie, Eva, Rosalie, Roland and Ken. John and Tracy, Scott, Antonio, Marina and Ben. Alan, Scott, Harris, Robert, Nicola, Julie. Michael, George and Curtis, Francisco, Michelle, Tommy. There's a whole lot more than these last four. A whole lot more than these last four. Richard, Joel, Roger, Shay. Hip, hip, hooray!
It'll still work with On Fusion. Maybe we'll get remixes.
It's a whole new world right now. India. Come on, China. Let's do this.
Illegal in China. Sorry.
Yeah, you and Spade. All over the world today. Yeah. So thankful for Ash, the family, one nation, a passive nation,
Woo! We had to liven it up, guys. We had to liven it up. And that's this guy's song. Yeah. That's Keith's song. So I thought that would be a nice little wake up to get us through the last 20 minutes of this. We can do it.
See, too many people go through, and when they go through, they're so ruined.
We
because
got
they go through with
this.
the faith and the confidence. I think about the fact that I've seen where they've taken segments from some of our webinars, and they break it down to small size and they share it. I saw something with I think Mike and I think it was Ash Mufareh, and it was I think it was in India, the language. It was powerful to see that thing. So we see we're in a world now with technology, we can share these things in so many languages eventually. But I think about the fact that we are in such a great place to have seen the result of staying together, the result of believing in a dream, in a vision, in a man who believes in God. We've seen the result of sticking it out. We've seen the result of not quitting. And every time I'm on these segments, I think about someone who doesn't know about Onpassive, who never heard about it before. I think all of us here, I would believe, is at a resolve where we know this is going to work. We believe in this company. We have faith. But there's someone who might be new. It's like, what's Onpassive? What is this about? So I would say to you, like,
I guess it would be nice if I could scam somebody. I want to scam everybody, yes, especially you. Please don't think twice before you give your cash away. Give it all to Ash Mufareh today. Oh, yes, it's true. Oh, but I need some time off from this emotion. This thing is making me go fucking insane. I guess to be in Onpassive, you really got to turn off your fucking brain and have some faith. Gotta have faith.
I say to myself when I remember the last 2 years,
sorry, that's the best I
ran into Onpassive. And so you might be the one looking for something now and open and willing to investigate. And so this message for you to let you know that these men and women here are very much aware that there's something in this earth that's going to transform the
You
world.
doing a poem?
These men here, some are professionals. Some of these men.
These men here, several are very aware that I have no hair and I have no money to spare. Like, what are we doing? Keith, what are we doing?
Women are, people who are established. They've worked hard. They know a lot. They're not gullible people. They have investigated. They have looked into things. They have thought about things. And they're now convinced that we have something powerful that's going to really revolutionize the entire world.
Revolutionize!
And transform the world. So if you're looking at open, you want to investigate. I would encourage you to investigate. A lot of you are leaving this end of year and you're so torn up. You're wondering what will next year look like. You're anticipating, you're anxious about what might be in store for you in the future. But good news. Onpassive is here. And you have a team that's here. And you have a leader that's here that is vivacious, that has the kind of faith that you rarely ever see.
It really makes them say Onpassive is here to stay real sour now, right? That, you know, that they're rebranding to On Fusion. It's like, actually, no, it's not. It's going to be On Fusion soon.
Heart that you'll ever feel, and has the vision that will allow all of us to get a taste of this wonderful, smooth, cool water that will be running down. So again, to all the speakers, you guys have been my encouragement. You guys have been my source of inspiration. Marty, Uncle Bob, Vincent. I mean, you guys are awesome. Robin, and I keep going, but I'm gonna end it right here by saying thank you all. I wish you all a great New Year's when it comes. As if you're watching, thank you and your family, your team. I'm so blessed to be a part of this, and I'm looking to see even greater things in the next coming days, weeks.
Happy New Year, Keith. Can you do us a favor? Can you come out with more songs? But this time, instead of Onpassive, it has to be On Fusion to go with the rebrand. Don't know when they're going to announce that, but just, you know, so you're ready.
Into next year. God bless every one of you, and see y'all soon.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you, and same to you. Happy New Year's to you. So we'll hear from Mr. Martin Ayim, and then we'll go back to Brother Madi. We'll hear from Mr. Martin, and then we hear from Mark, and then we'll roll back to
Mr. Mark,
Mike Ellis, Chris Johnson, Madi, if they have anything to close based on what they've heard, and Robin. So let's listen to Mr. Martin. Over to you, Mr. Martin. Can you hear me?
Well, Marty had to leave, so he messaged me and he gave me the host. He had to leave.
Okay. So we still have Robin, Mike Ellis.
Marty had to leave, so he was gonna talk again. I was all excited because he called him Mr. Martin, and I was like, maybe it's somebody else. But like, Marty probably did have to leave. He's got 4 kids to take care of. But why was he gonna speak? He already spoke. Anyway, let's get this over with.
And Chris Johnson, right? I don't see Brother Chris, but we have Mike, we have Robin. So they'll close up. Oh, okay. Chris is here. Okay, good. So, Mr. Martin, over to you. Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yes, very much. Do you hear me now?
Wonderful. Welcome. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much, brother. You call my name just like my mother would. I am so excited about Onpassive. Honestly, this is the first time that I'm speaking in a webinar, and I'm moved by it. Let me just announce too that I was recruited. I'm a founder. I was recruited by Comfort, Sister Comfort. She locked out, so I'm in Onpassive.
Damn you, Comfort!
So yes, and I come today to reveal a dream that I had about Onpassive. In my dream, Onpassive appeared to me written in the sky, and it was like a scrolling board. Onpassive, and then a multitude of people clapping. You know. Then I woke up from sleep. I'm like, what is this? So God reveals to redeem. I believe in that very strongly, and I see that Onpassive is a success. We're talking about faith. I add trust, and I do add patience. I listened to our CEO on the 24th, and every word he says motivates. So we know where we are and why we joined Onpassive. I can assure you, with our confidence, Onpassive is moving to directions, and 2025 is going to be a year of victory. Did anybody expect a big company, a nice thing like Onpassive, to be without challenges? No. Then you must be in a dreamland. The thing is, when you overcome the challenges, do you go higher? Yes, we're instead going higher and higher. So with all this confidence, as I've started talking, I will continue to talk as well. I'm speaking from Louisiana, USA, and prosperous New Year to all our brothers and sisters of Onpassive. Thank you, Ash, for your vision.
Thank you. And we hope that you come back next year so that you can help us spread the word, Mr. Ayim. It's good to see you, brother.
Oh, Lord. I really hope that he's dressed up because he's like going out to do something with his family or something, and that he wasn't all dressed up for this fucking webinar. I would be pissed if I came to this webinar to celebrate Happy New Year with everyone, and then this was the webinar I got, you know?
From I want and only Mark. Where's Mark? Is Mark still here? I saw Mark. Where's Mark?
I'm right here, Bob.
Hello, Mark. Happy
New Year.
There you go. What do you think about this hope and positive mindset and faith that we'll be talking about as we go to the next year?
Hope, faith, believe, gratitude, and believe that I believe. These are all things I've heard here today. I had to have some hope. It seemed as though I had no hope, but I knew I did because there was a power greater than myself given to me many years ago, and it changed how I think. Gave me an open mind. When I first heard Ash, I was like, "There's a power greater than me," and I it's funny because I came down with leukemia in September of 2020, and no, I came into Onpassive September of 2020, and came down with leukemia in October. And Onpassive, when I was doing chemo, I had my laptop with me and I had headphones and I could listen to different webinars, and it Onpassive got me through chemo. And then I would get out of chemo, and the doctor would always ask me, "How you feeling?" "I'm feeling great." When they told me I had leukemia, I was like, "Okay, what do we do next?" And he looked at me like I was crazy. He's like, "Did you hear what I said?" "Yeah, but it is what it is. God will have my back. If he wants me here, he'll keep me here." Well, that was 4 years ago. Yeah, and he kept me here for a reason, and I think that reason is so I could meet all you.
Mark's so interesting. I'm thinking about looking into him a little bit more in this new year because he interests me a bit. Mark's kind of like an old hippie type, but without all the fun. Like if you stripped a hippie of all of their fun, and then you're just left with this dude that just talked to you about random stories. He tells a lot of like random stories about his life, This guy has multiple ex-wives with multiple orders of protection. Yeah, I think we're going to get into Mark in the new year. I don't like to just jump on the O founders. This is like what I mean though. Like I like to wait until they've made their presence quite known on the webinars. I'm not out here to pick on the victims of this scam at all. That's not at all my intent. I don't want to re-victimize anybody. So for me, in order for me to cover somebody, they have to kind of make themselves really well known on the Onpassive platform. And I feel like Mark has accomplished that at this point. He did do a Shining the Light, and there was some interesting webinars that he has attended. So I'm like, maybe we'll dive into who Mark Olson is this new year. Start looking at who some of these people are that are sort of new faces to us. We know Marty and Chris really well. We know Red really well. I want to look some more into Jeffrey. I want to look at Mark and maybe give some of these people with their egos a bit of a rest and see how that plays out,
You guys, you all are a power greater than me. I don't know numbers. I don't know all this tech savvy stuff, but I tell you, all I have to do is log in. I got a friend that knows everything. I'm grateful for Ash Mufareh because he is a power greater than me that is doing for me what I couldn't do for myself.
He's got a good jail tag. Looks like.
I love y'all, like it or not. I mean, and the more I come on here, I'm like a lamp. I'm like a lamp. If I reach up, somebody reaches up there to turn me on. If I'm not plugged in, I'm not going to have the light to shine. So I need to stay plugged in. We all need to stay plugged in and be a lamp. That's all I got. Glad to see you all.
How inspiring.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Mark. Happy New Year. Guys, listen to this.
Guys, in the new year, be a lamp. Be a lamp and stay plugged in. That's your advice from Mark Olson.
What Mark just said.
Marty's got it down pat. He's already sedentary.
All I got to do is log in. I got a friend that knows everything. It sounds like a song. All I got to do is log in, and I got a friend who knows everything. Oh boy. That was a good one, Mark. Thank you so much. Let's go to Brother Chris Johnson. Brother Chris, do you have any parting words or anything that you heard so far today that you want to emphasize?
It's really weird, Bob, how you write down like one sentence from everyone's speech to like reiterate after they're done and be like, oh, that was a really good speech. Like, that's bizarre.
So anything that you want to let us go with.
I do.
Write
Don't
that
ever do that
down.
again, Bob. Oh, very good. One thing I
Chris.
love about this is just about every one of you talked about God.
Chris, put your fucking glasses on your face, Chris. They don't do anything when they're not on your face. And you're like, okay, you don't wear glasses. My husband and my daughter both wear glasses. Put the glasses on your face. I can assure you, when my husband does not have his glasses on, he cannot see. He needs to put the glasses on his face. You, Chris, need to put the glasses on your face. In your hand, it does nothing. And there's a webinar that he did too after he got his fucking glasses in this past week, where he's trying to read comments and he's like close to the screen squinting, and then he has his glasses in his fucking hand. And I'm like, Chris, put them on your fucking face. Don't take them off. You got to get used to wearing them.
That's, to me, that's music to my ears, and to let people, no matter what you believe, and I think everyone believes in God one way or the other, or whatever religion they're in, but just to show the power of what this company is part of, not just products and not just wealth, but God. God's all about it. So that's all I got to say is keep that promise to God, keep your faith in God, and everything else falls.
Yeah, God came and spoke to you, Chris, did he? Did he come and appear to you? And he said, I want to let you know that Onpassive thing, I'm all about it. In those exact words. I mean, you might as well claim so. Ash claims he was sent by God.
Bob, back to you.
Back to you. Bob?
Thank you, Brother Chris. Thanks for your support, always unconditional.
Well, at least he did put the glasses back on his face. I'll give him that.
Let's go to Sister Uncle Mike, Brother Mike Ellis, if you're there, please. Mike, anything that you want to add, any additional stuff you want to add, or any parting words as we go into this next year, in the next couple of days?
Yeah, just very quickly, Bob. And of course,
there's such a hierarchy here, isn't there? It's interesting how they all speak. Mike has already spoken. Chris has already spoken. Marty has already spoken. But after everyone speaks, although they all had their slot as well, at the end, Bob wants to know, what is everybody thinking? But then he only asks Marty, Mike, and Chris to weigh in at the end. And it just goes to show you, like, who really is at the top of this thing. You know, you think he's going to ask Marcienne again? Or Narelle? Or Sherry? Hey, you want to weigh in now that you've heard everyone? No. So that's just very interesting, isn't it?
In the program, all you need is Robin. You don't need Chris and I, but I'll say a couple of things. You know, Ash's vision 6 years ago, 7 years ago, was a tremendous vision. And today it's stronger than it was 8 years ago. It is just a magnificent, revolutionary vision. And for those people that are just listening right now, you've heard a lot of really, really great things today. I mean, everybody had some tremendous things to say, but you might be saying to yourself, well, okay, but what is this? What is Ash's vision? And it's important for you to understand what he's done and why it's revolutionary. Very, very simply, it's an automated marketing platform, boom, run by AI, artificial intelligence, connect to traffic.
Boom.
What does that mean to you? It means to you that when you have an organization, because of what Mr. Mufareh has done, sales will come into your organization, you will make a commission, and boom, you just got paid. That is the vision of Ash Mufareh. Very, very simply put. There's a lot more to it than that. But it really is extraordinary. It is revolutionary. And once you understand what Mr. Mufareh is bringing forth very, very quickly, you're going to understand he's done this for you. And that's the most important part. It's been done for you to have the ability to develop an income and live the lifestyle you want to live. Bob, I'll leave it there. That's where we're at. That's where we're going. And it's a good place to be. Bob, go ahead.
All right, thank you, Mike. Thank you so much, Mike. And before I call Sister Robin to come and give a final closure, let me let you know that I'm going to let our Sister Comfort. You're going to, after Robin speaks, you're going to take it over and you close the webinar with the closing words. But I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank the heroes, our heroes family. I want to thank all of you throughout the past few years. We've been here. We've been here. Like my brother Vincent said, every day, every Sunday this year, we've been here. We've been supportive. And thank you for all your contributions. I mean, we couldn't have done this without you, without your support, your love, you know, and your cooperation. So let me pass it over to Sister Robin, the voice of living, voice of strength, voice of power, voice of love. Sister Robin, over to you.
Well, thank you so much. Mike, as always, you are very kind and generous, and I just adore all of you. I look forward to being able to give you big hugs and meeting in person, maybe even in 2025. Life is precious. Let's not waste our time. We can take a class, we can donate our time at the food banks, the church kitchens, help the homeless, help
Yeah,
those
you
who are less
can.
fortunate.
Exactly.
And by doing this, believe it or not, we actually help ourselves. Because by feeling good, we subconsciously continue to exude that, and that goes out of us in ripples. The rest of people who come in contact with us feel this, and they just want to be around you, and they just want to be part of what you're doing. The bottom line is we have a choice. While this is being done for us by Ash, and he will present and bring forward when it is ready, we have a choice. We can sit and do nothing, but please, if that's your choice, don't complain. Don't be negative about it. It will take what it will take to bring it to us. But if you don't do anything, then that's fine, but you'll be in the same space as you're probably in now. If you choose to do something to enrich your life by helping yourself and helping others, connect your heart to God's heart, have a safe New Year's, everybody, celebrating as you will, celebrate responsibly. Drink, please don't drive. If you vape and smoke, please don't drive, be safe. And let's ring in 2025 with joy and happiness in our hearts. Looking
Wait,
forward
is she talking about the devil's lettuce? Because you can do tobacco and drive. That was bizarre, Robin.
to more in 2025. Looking forward to more good health, more abundance, more friendship, more love, more laughter. And I wish you all a wonderful, safe New Year's, and I look forward to seeing you in 2025. Take care, everybody. Thank you for a wonderful webinar and having me with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sis. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And of course, Bob, I thank you for preserving one of the best just for me to take care of. None else but our own brother Peter. It's been a wonderful year. We've been through so much together, great moments. He's a wonderful person, great at organizing like nobody else would do. And we just thank God for his life too, because he went through a surgery and came back very successful. That's why you see him looking great. And Pete, there's no way we'll go this last Sunday without hearing your voice, bro.
Thank you, Comfort. I was trying to get away with it, but I couldn't. Great webinar, great speakers, and obviously we've all got faith. I've got faith in God. I mean, my faith has grown with God over the last 6 months, I'll be honest with you. And I'm glad to be here, you know. And Robin, you touched my heart, what you said. And you know, I had to turn the camera off because it got me. And you know, I feel for you and what you're going through. And but you're a winner, and you're going to make it to the top. Like the rest of it. And anyway, so yeah, great webinar, great to be here, great speakers, and we will see everybody in the new year. Keep the faith. This is definitely coming our way. Ash is obviously working hard with his team, and there's no doubt in my mind we are going to be pleasantly surprised in the next few months. Back to you, Comfort.
Oh, thank you so much, Pete. Yeah.
Back to you.
So I just want to take this opportunity again to appreciate everybody, those of you watching out there on the YouTube channels, even those who will watch later on. We just want to extend our love to all of you, our gratitude again. And we've been a great family. We've been through so much together, good things, bad things, normal things, all types of things. And I think we have grown from strength to strength, both as individuals and as the one big family that we are. And I do believe, like anybody else looking at me right now, that the best is yet to come. And of course, we are just ready for it. Whoever has maybe strayed a bit, you've just gone for a walk, come back home, because home is just here. Family is here. And it's so sweet just being together. Let's do this. Let's just stand strongly behind.
Your home is Onpassive?
Support him with prayers, love messages, think about each other.
You're going to be homeless soon,
It's
man.
evident. Everybody feels good. How much people think about each other, pray. They pray as they are moving mountains. We can tell because people come back and testify. Let's keep doing this. Let's keep on the faith. Thank you. Love you all. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy
New Year.
Wow. Woo. That was a lot. That was a lot, but we did it, guys. We got through it. We had the resilience and the faith to get through that 2-hour webinar, and we did it. We all did it here together. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful start to 2025. I feel like that webinar opened my eyes about a few things. Let me know if you want me to look into Mark Olson and some of these other O founders that maybe we don't know a whole lot about, but they are starting to show up more and more. So maybe it would be good to look into them a bit. I am interested in seeing if Marty and Chris ever react to what myself and the Recovering Hunbot have been putting out, especially her website. I really want to hear how they're going to react to just her website with that information on it. I think that will be fun. Hopefully it eventually will happen. I don't see them ignoring us for that long, that information. So I guess we'll have to see what happens with this thing in future and when this rebrand is going to go public. And will Ash show up in the new year? I mean, he came on the 24th on Christmas Eve, but he did not appear over the new year. So is he going to make an appearance soon? I guess you'll just have to stick around and find out. Thank you, everyone, for coming and hanging out with me this afternoon. I had a lot of fun. I am glad that I have all of you to get through these with, because they're hard to get through when you're just kind of at home watching them. You know, it's always easier when I have you guys here in the community to help me get through this. And Maren says, after this, I feel like it's already 2026. Right? I was expecting a little bit more excitement, a little bit more happiness, even though it's the Heroes webinar. But as you can see, even when they're like celebrating New Year's, they're still fucking depressing me. Like, God, do those Heroes webinars ever get jazzed up and like happy? Like, these webinars are so different from the ones 2 years ago. Hardly anything about money mentioned, just religion and faith, right? And it'll be interesting to see if they do a switch back to like products and money talk once like the rebrand is announced. I just think it's fascinating to watch how this whole thing plays out and how things twist and turn and change, and then how they scramble and try to explain them, and how Ash can never take any accountability. It's all very fascinating to me. And I do look forward to this next year and finding out how this all plays out. Low cash, lowered expectations. I mean, I feel like in this thing, you really do have to have the lowest of expectations, because I personally don't think the rebrand's going to change much. I think it's just going to kind of set the reset button. And then, as I stated earlier, I think we're going to end up going through a lot of the same issues that we went through when they had the OES come up, right? Login issues, one-time password issues, and secondary email issues, and etc. I feel like we got to gear up to go through all of that again, but now with On Fusion. So it was a fun time, though. It was funny. We had a lot of great moments. So more great moments to come in 2025. And I look forward to spending this year with all of you, speaking out about scams, speaking out about cults. I am finally able to release some content that I've been slowly kind of chipping away at as best as I can. So I'm looking forward to all the new content I'm releasing over this next year, and it will be a great time. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, please make sure that you do. Think about joining the fabulous, amazing members. All of the people do. All right, the beautiful people, the beautiful people. They all join. You don't want to be ugly like me, so make sure you hit that join button. And I am going to see you all really, really soon with another one. Over the next week, I'm going to be kind of taking some time off from streaming. I do have my little one home for like another 5 days before she goes back to school, and I'm going to be making the best of that time. But I will see you around. I will see you. Don't worry. I'm not disappearing for 5 days, but I am going to be doing a lot of that. And I hope that all of you take some rest, take a break from Onpassive maybe for for a day or two, clear your head, and get ready to tackle this thing with me in 2025. Yep, let's go. We're in it to win it. Mwah! I love all your faces.
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke. If that's a call. Hey.
And I'm your friend.
That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own. It breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufareh. If you're rude, if you've been doubting or sighing or we know who you are.
Stop going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought on. Her debate was 3-minute Ash. Another Queen of Karma asking about why don't we answer the question about religion. I think we've answered that over and over again.
I've been answering them over and over. It's not the answer you want, but call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
All right, this is a great way to start your day. Come here and tune in to Crazy Man talking about their experiences. My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
And I'm your friend.
Happy New Year, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Stop going there. That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own. It breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufareh.
Stop going there. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there.
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
Let's go to Guyana.